We are live. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome, the Gunners, one and all, from wherever you are in the world. If you're in a different part of the world, it might be good afternoon, it might be good morning, might be good evening, might be good night. Either way, we are here. Welcome to the Arsenal stream of the Southampton versus Arsenal Premier League game taking place in Southampton at the New Den. And we are kicking off in a couple of minutes. I've got the team sheet on the screen. If anybody wants to join in the stream, feel free to come in. I will be sending the link into the chat instantaneously. There we go. Hey Gary, how you doing? So yeah, team sheet is the same 11 that has started countless games for us in the Premier League. No alterations. Tried and tested system. Good to see that Gabriel Jesus is there. There was slight concern, but obviously he played a significant part in the midweek game, and he's obviously still okay to continue today. We bring back in Ben White. We bring back in Tomiyasu is an interesting choice at left back. I feel there's more solidity with him in that role as opposed to Kieran Tierney. Odegaard comes in hoping that he has a good game today, as he's been a little bit quiet in certain parts of certain games. So I'm hoping that he can, score a goal, get his confidence up, and dominate play. Of course, my star man is back, Thomas Partey, and of course he will, be instrumental, no doubt, in putting us on the front foot. So, without further delay, for those of you who are wondering where is the game, the game is on Sky Sports main event. Just finishing watching the Arsenal ladies, who have just finished actually. They finished beating Liverpool at Liverpool. Score was 2-0. Vivian Miedemar scored. I'm not sure who the other goal was, if it was by somebody else, but I know Vivian was on the score sheet. So that game was finished 2-0. And without further delay, Alex Scott spotting. Anytime I see Alex Spot, I go all over wobble. I must admit, I have a thing for Alex Scott. She is lovely. Anyway, let's change channel. Let's go on to Sky and let's get ourselves back in tune. Gary's just finished doing his young boys football, generating his game this morning. Good afternoon, Daniel Millington. And he's going for a 4-0 win for Arsenal today. Very confident. So the game's kicked off. Arsenal in all black. Southampton's usual home kit, the black shorts. Wasn't sure if two teams could wear the same colour shorts. Arsenal are moving forward. Big wide ball from Ben White across all the way to Martinelli. Ball's in the box. Oh, nearly was the first goal there for, was it, who was that? Gabriel Jesus. Who else? Yeah, lovely 40-yard ball from Ben White from right-hand side all the way to the left-hand side. Great control. Martinelli all in one. His pass, however, to Jesus. Jesus was standing in an offside position. So that's shot on 1 minute, literally. Gary's in the house. Go.
Hello.
Hello, mate. Could you turn your TV down for us? Cheers, pal.
No, turn the TV down. There you go. Job done.
Not all the way down.
Lovely, lovely. So you might be a little bit ahead of me as I'm working for IPTV. I'm currently at 1 minute 2
yes,
minutes.
Yes, me too, mate.
Okay. Party on the ball.
I'm 2 minutes
that's
16.
The kind of ball that nobody else can play in the team. What a ball to Odegaard. Arsenal definitely in the ascendancy. Ooh. Bit risky from Ramsdale.
We're definitely looking. Jesus just got clattered.
Yeah. Yeah, you're literally a couple of seconds ahead of me, I think.
I think I'm literally about 10 seconds ahead of you.
Yeah. So how you doing anyway, Gal? Gary?
My under 18s had a game this morning. Hello, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my under 18s had a game this morning and I was soaking wet, absolutely drenched from head to toe. Oh, we just gone close. Lovely crossing from Xhaka. Just evaded everyone and just goes wide on the far post.
Oh, that needed just a little touch and that would have been in. Rupert in the stream. Rupert. Oh, he's gone. He was coming in, but he's gone.
See, when you watch that chance again, Gabriel gone with it with his foot. Instead of if he puts a diving header on that, it's in.
Game away early doors, get some goals and then bring on some subs. Obviously another midweek game pending against PSV. So the more rest they get, the better. What did you think of the performance on Thursday night, Gary? Foul on don't know who that player is. Foul by Arsenal on their midfielder. Southampton looking to move from the back. The Arsenal press, the high press is there. It obviously causes teams a lot of problems because they've given the ball straight away to Thomas Partey. He in turn loses it, but Arsenal recover and then give it away. And it's very tight there. Southampton have managed to get their way out. Oh no, they haven't. Saka gets a toe in. And then their goalkeeper eventually gets the ball. Yeah, Southampton are struggling to get out because of the Arsenal press. It's clear that, with this press, Arsenal are stopping all their routes out. And so, although the defenders get the ball, they're looking for a pass into midfield or up front. And it's difficult because, a couple of seconds into having the ball, they're, not even a couple of seconds, within a second, somebody's on them. That's a good crossfield ball by the Southampton left back. It releases their right back. Southampton's first attack, the right back took loads of space running down the wing and then took a low cross, which Ramsdale had easily. Martin Odegaard just sold short a pass to Bukayo Saka. Got to do better there, Martin.
I thought that was Saka should have actually just took a step forward to get that ball. He allowed the defender to get in front of him.
I don't know. I think the ball was played behind him. I think he looks at. Hopefully, Odegaard plays the ball into the space in front of him. In which case, he's got that dynamic run, which he gets so often, where the ball's delivered. He does this move where he backs in as if he's coming back towards play, and then he spins really quickly, and then you have to play the ball. Martinelli
Another
down
brilliant
the wing.
save by the Southampton keeper from Xhaka.
Nice pass, Partey. Oh, what a pass. Oh, yes, absolutely. Ball ricochets out to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka takes a shot, which is from a very acute angle, but the goalkeeper's got his angles correct and gets down and saves it. Ball out for an Arsenal throw. Arsenal putting the pressure on now, and Southampton get a foot in, nick it out, and they're off again.
You got to say on this opening 7 minutes, it's only a matter of time before we nick the first goal here.
Absolutely. Sky showing that Arsenal have had 59% of the action, 34% is in the middle of the pitch, and only 7% in the Arsenal final third.
Martinelli down on the ground, clutching his right shoulder.
It goes up for a header. The defender wins it, but in doing so, he leans on Martinelli. So he's down at the moment, clutching the shoulder. Let's see how he gets on. He's getting pulled up. It looks like he's going to be all right.
Yeah, I think just as Martinelli landed there, his footing went from underneath him. That's with the heavy fall onto his right shoulder. Yeah,
absolutely right, Gary. Oh, he banged his head pretty bad there as well. Whew. You know, I don't know if you've ever had that, but when you fall from going down a header and you bang your head on turf, that bloody shocks you.
Oh!
Talk us
Just
through it,
wide
Gary.
from Odegaard. Lovely move down the left, Lovely move down the left. Martinelli
Odegaard
cuts inside, plays the ball back into Xhaka.
Odegaard shoots,
Xhaka drives.
and it's just gone wide.
Lovely ball across and just past. Good move, though. Good movement, though. This is what we want to see.
Absolutely.
Constant swarms of attacks.
Yeah. There's a part of Granit Xhaka's play in that little move that shows how much of an improvement he's had. The ability to take the ball, dribble, and pass into a dangerous key area. That's the kind of Granit Xhaka play that we've not seen for ages. And Southampton lose the ball literally within seconds of kicking off again. Down the left-hand side, Granit Xhaka. Oh! Arsenal really are knocking on the door, pressing really hard for this first goal. Southampton.
That chance there for Odegaard, that's what you don't see anymore. That you don't see that central midfielder going in with that diving header like you used to back in the old days.
Yeah. It's
a different class of player now, isn't it? They don't want to get hurt. The old Brian Robson would have been steaming in there with his head first, wouldn't he? Remember?
Wow. I don't know if you can see this, but 7 minutes into the other game, Aston Villa are 2-0 up. Leicester are 1-0 up. Yuri Tielemans scored.
It just goes to show you, Tone, doesn't it? When they don't want to play for a manager, they just won't. Yes! Granit Jesus. No, Xhaka scored. Brilliant move down the right. Ben White goes on the overlap. Saka feeds him in. Great cross.
Beautiful.
Who's there in the middle? Granit Xhaka, volley. Lovely cross by Ben White.
That's beautiful. The cross perfect. The layoff from Bukayo Saka to allow Ben White to run unchallenged down the right wing. A thing of beauty. Yeah, great. I'm so happy for Granit Xhaka. You know, this is absolutely already his greatest season ever. And the crowd, no doubt, they're seeing his name. It's a beautiful move.
What a finish that is.
A lovely 1-2.
There's no keeper in world football that's saving that. Bang.
Bukayo Saka and Ben White. And
but the cutback from Ben White was absolutely perfect.
To the roof of the net. It's a beautiful goal.
2 goals in a week with his right foot.
Yeah.
2 goals in a week with his right foot. He never used it before in his life.
This guy is, I mean, he's up for goal.
Mr. Arsenal, the new Mr. Arsenal.
He's pushing.
Go on, Jesus. That's got to go to VAR, surely. Arsenal break again. Ball over the top. Jesus wrestles free from the defender. Looks to me like he gets pulled back, but
yeah,
there's no VAR check. I don't know if they're going to come into it, but the play goes on. Arsenal have got the ball back. That looked to me like a pen.
It
interesting
looks
to
like
see that one again.
You've got to have a look at it. To me, you've definitely got to have a look at it. Good tackle from Thomas Partey. You know, it's one-touch football. It's just a thing of beauty. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy watching Thomas Partey receive a ball because you just know he's going to do something.
You know what it is, Tone? When he gets the ball, you've got assured confidence that he's going to use it well. He shields it well, then he moves it on.
Yeah.
And it's all done in literally one movement, isn't it?
Yeah, he knows when he can play a one-touch pass. He knows when he can take a touch and then move it.
Oh, what a ball that was. I'm not sure who played it, but Tommy Asu played a lovely ball to release Martinelli. Cross comes in, there's no one, unfortunately, there's no one there. Last-ditch tackle just stopped Bukayo Saka making it 2. Oh, flags up, must have been offside.
But
again, lovely little 1-2 touch football there.
And the pass,
Partey slides the ball through. Saka literally Partey.
Yeah, it's just a thing.
That's a pen, isn't it? Look, he's all over him. Look, hands round him. How's that not a pen? Look, how's it not a pen? Well, he gets the touch, but here, it's after, look. The defender gets a touch from behind of the ball, but he's then groping him again and doesn't allow him freeness to run and stand up straight. Oh. Well covered, Ben White. Partey gives the ball away there. Was it Odegaard? Odegaard so I'm being corrected by my children here. Odegaard gives the ball away.
It was Odegaard, yeah.
Partey a bit short. And Ben White on the cover.
Yeah, great cover.
He's had a good season so far, Ben White, isn't he? Had a really good season at right back.
He's absolutely become a stalwart at that position. It's wonderful to know you've got him and Tomiyasu who can do what they do, both defensively and offensively. Arsenal.
Do you know what? Listen, I have to admit, I wasn't Ben White's biggest fan defensively, but I think this season he's been absolutely spotted in everything he's done. I wasn't his biggest fan, but defensively he's been solid in everything he's done.
Granit Xhaka.
I mean, Southampton can't get near us.
They can't.
We could have already been 2 or 3-0 up already.
Yeah.
But the song's complacency don't set in. That's the main thing. When you're playing this well, you know, and you get a bit complacent and you let them back into the game, because that's the only way that they're going to get anything from this game.
But you know what? I mean, this football is so reminiscent of Man City. You know, we'll pass you to death. You won't touch the ball for 10 minutes. And then when we decide to go in, you know, we slice like a knife. Oh, what a pass. That was so close from Odegaard into Gabriel. Statistics shows that since February 10th, Arsenal played 18 games
got
and won 18
so much time on the ball
when scoring first. I mean,
I was saying to a couple of people at work the other day, this has been a long time since I've seen an Arsenal side like this. It's been a hell of a long time since I've seen an Arsenal side like this. You feel that every time they take the pitch, you feel that they're going to win a game.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, this is an interesting thing. If you was an opposition manager and you're a football coach, if you look at a team, would you not put something on Thomas Partey? Because it dominates so much of what happens in midfield.
The thing is, I don't think you can actually afford to do that, because he plays in that midfield on his own. He's just one, and if you take a player out, that just allows other people just more space to do what they've got to do. And I just don't think you can go man for man that deep, because it would have to be the striker that picked him up.
It's an interesting thing, Gary. Look at this, right? As play progresses, look at where 4 of the Southampton midfield are. They're situated in a square around Thomas Partey. So Thomas Partey literally is sitting in a square between 4 Southampton players, which means all the other players are everywhere else for him to spray the ball to. And I'm kind of thinking, well, hang on a second. You're either putting someone on him and accounting for everybody else, but they seem to be in a 4. Look out for it occasionally in play, because I've seen it at least 3 times already today.
But I can see it here. I can see it here right now. He's just picked up the ball, and there's 4 players. He's in the middle of 4 players, so he's just on his own, middle of the pitch.
Yeah,
and there's 4 players around him.
Yeah.
Look, you can see it there, right there. Look, bang.
He gets the ball. He gets the ball. Nobody can touch him because he's in acres of room.
But if you take one out, then they're one short defensive. So then we just Saka or Martinelli comes in from wide, and it makes the extra man that they're losing. I mean, even there, look, the player's just gone right up to him. He's just rolled him, gone back and find a little 10-yard pass across to Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
He's the most pivotal player in this team, without a shadow of a doubt. He's Thomas Partey.
The knowledge to know that player is about to clatter you from behind and you do that turn, that's just absolutely phenomenal skill.
It's the first misplaced pass I've seen from Thomas Partey today. Excuse me.
I'll be back in a sec.
No worries, mate. Oh.
Let's continue. Think how many minutes?
Try not to fall over on the floor. Southampton corner. Let's hope they don't score from this because they haven't even been involved.
Rodrigo scored for Leeds. 1-0.
So all the bottom teams are winning.
1-0 against Fulham.
Come on, silly. You get too overplayed too much.
Thanks, Gary, for holding the fort. So Southampton have the ball.
That's right, mate. That's right, mate. Southampton just had a corner. Now good punch, clear, under pressure. Leicester 2-0 up, lead 1-0 up. It's getting into the bottom, isn't it? 3-0 up now.
Yeah. It's interesting. I picked Wolves to win that game today with Leicester.
I think Arsenal are trying to be a little tiny bit too clever here. And a lot of the passes are not finding their men.
I sense they're building a confidence in their ability to find passes that are very, very close control. They're doing things now that you think when you've had the amount of time that Man City been able to do, you can do those things. But you have to have an understanding, that I'm going to do this the minute a ball hits me. I know that this player is going to do that, and therefore immediately I can take it on myself to do a one-touch pass or a drag back or whatever. I mean, those things don't work out for a while. They take a time to develop. To me, I mean, they talk about Mikel Arteta's system play.
How you getting on?
This Arteta ball is looking
Yes,
nice,
Apollo.
but I think in 6 months' time, this is just going to be unplayable for some teams.
Yeah, I can agree with you there. I think the main thing is again, it's just complacency. When you've got players streaming forward and one pass is short, that could lead to a whole different counter attack coming against you. Yeah. Because that sloppiness in that one pass. If you've got 3 or 4 streaming, go and get Jesus through. Oh, side netting.
Right, so where am I?
Party interception.
Let me pick this up now.
Jesus was played through. Christian turns the defender,
left
slams it into the side netting.
Yeah. I got a feeling
nice
he's going to score a goal today. Yeah. I've got a feeling he's going to score a goal today because you can see the desperation on his face to score a goal.
Who's that? Jesus?
Well, they just
Yeah, he hasn't scored a goal in 4 games, has he? It's his longest stretch.
They just said that before the game. It's his longest stretch without a goal. I thought he's only played 10 games. Yeah, he's only played 10 games, and it's his longest drought of 4 games. But with him, it's not necessarily his goal scoring, is it? It's the things that he brings to the team. It's what he brings to the team, which is sometimes maybe more important than scoring the goals.
Right, guys. Sorry, I'm late. I had some stuff to take care of. A new settee's coming tomorrow, and I had to get rid of the old one at the dump site, and it was just something. It shuts at 4 o'clock, so I either had to do it before the game or I couldn't do it at all. So I had to rush out. So first of all, Tony, how are you getting on, bro? How are you, Tony?
Very good, pal. Very good. Enjoying this actually, very much.
Good. Gary, how you doing, mate? Good to see you.
I'm fine, thank you, Apollo.
Excellent.
Oh,
I'm absolutely good.
What a pass from Partey again.
Did you see that stat, Tone?
That pass on Partey was brilliant.
Did you see that stat that just came up, Tone? Partey's had 35 touches in the opening 20 minutes.
He's incredible. He's our best player, mate. He's incredible. He's our best player.
I was telling Gary about where he positions himself in terms of he sits between 4 Southampton players. And
look at the space he's in now. Look, opponents just bounce off him. He's got such a stature in his torso and the way he positions his body that attackers don't know how to get the ball off him. They're clueless in terms of how to get the ball. He rarely ever gets depossessed. When was the last time you saw Partey get depossessed with the football?
Yeah.
He's so good with the ball in transition.
He just gives himself so much time, doesn't he? When the ball comes to him, he takes that touch. You know, someone's coming to him. He doesn't panic. He's so calm in possession. He gets rid of it. He shows again for it. You can't teach that.
So let's say a big shout out to everybody. Sorry I'm late, guys. Big shout out to Daniel. Daniel has just come off the 4-0 win with the ladies. I think that's the ladies.
No, the Arsenal ladies won 2-0 at Liverpool.
Oh, they won 2-0 at Liverpool.
Yeah.
And
I think he was saying 4-0 today, wasn't he?
KS says, more Xhaka. And then he says, lol. Greetings to you, Andrew. How are you getting on? Bertram, big up to you, Bertram. He says, I wonder what grade Apollo will give Xhaka. Well, I'll tell you because the game's only 27 minutes old.
But you do know he scored, right? You do know he scored.
I was watching the game in the car.
Oh, okay.
James, big shout out to you, James. He said definitely a penalty. So you have to talk me through that, Tony. What happened there? Bertram agrees with him and said, how is that not a penalty? Did I see that? Yes, I did see that when I was in the car.
Yeah, first few minutes of the game.
Andrew says, apparently football is a contact sport, so if players grape each other, this is allowed. Imagine Arsenal pull off a shot-winning title and Xhaka is player of the season. Can't see that happening. Saliba still leads the way.
Come on, Saka. Come on, Saka. Saka's clean through. Oh, fresh.
Oh, my God.
Oh, he's booked Saka for diving. He's booked Saka for diving.
Oh, my God.
He's booked Saka for diving.
That's ridiculous. Saka did well, though, to make the run and take on the 2 defenders. I don't think that's a dive, mate. I think he gets shoved in the back.
That's a foul, look. Where's VAR?
Yeah, he gets shoved in the back. But I'm not sure if it was a penalty, though. I think it was outside the box.
No, do you know what?
Again.
No, when they showed it from the other thing, he leaves his leg trailing into the Southampton player.
It's outside the box. It's definitely outside the box. Afternoon, Alex, by the way.
It's not a foul, though, Apollo. If you watch it from the other angle, he leaves his leg in. Know what Bernardo Silva does? He does the same thing now.
I was just about to say, Bernardo Silva got a penalty yesterday for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason for Saka to stick his leg out there. You know what I mean? There's no reason for him to stick his leg into the defender there. So, is it a dive? He's trying to con the ref. So maybe a yellow card is the correct outcome.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
There was an elbow, a right elbow in his back, but it was very limited. Very limited. Andrew says, hey, Apollo, were you indulging in some activities which delayed? Yeah, house duties, my friend, house duties. Daniel, I hope you are doing well, mate. I haven't been seeing you in a while at the stadium, Daniel, so I'm going to have to come and look for you next week. Definitely have to come and look for you, mate. So, overall, Tony, what's your assessment of the game?
It's all Arsenal. Arsenal pressure from the very beginning of the game. You know, we've been playing exceedingly strong in the press. You know, Southampton been struggling to get out. They're getting a little bit more of a foothold in the game now. But for the first 10, 15 minutes, Arsenal were constantly pegging them back into the point where it was 56% of the play was being played in the final third at Southampton.
Get up, Jesus, man. What are you doing with your life?
Yeah. Gary, what's your thoughts on the game so far?
Yeah, really strong start.
He does get a punch in the back,
yeah, but it's not enough. Not enough to send him sprawling to the ground.
He's not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
but
I know
he's
you're not allowed to
Brazilian.
do that, but
Hey, guys, he comes from the school of Rivaldo, so he's Brazilian. They do that, mate.
yeah, that's not
Mate,
enough for him to do that. That's
It's
ridiculous.
not, but you know what, Gary? You have to accentuate it because he's not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
Tony,
but
he's a
when
Brazilian.
VAR should look at that incident and see the little punch in his back, and action should be taken.
Thank you.
You know, this is, you know, it is
that's
a little
why
dig,
players are doing
but
stuff
not
now,
enough to
because
send
they
him
know.
sprawled into the floor like that.
Guys, remember what happened to Rob Holding at Tottenham Hotspur's ground with Song when Song elbowed him before Holding retaliated and got the red card. Song didn't get anything for that. Sometimes it just goes by the way. Look at the stats there. Arsenal 4 shots, 2 on target. Southampton 3 shots, 1 on target, 60% possession. Arsenal look like they're playing at home.
We've been so comfortable, you know, and we've had good opportunities to score.
Yeah, and it's dominant. I mean, there's 2 things here. Arsenal are just dominant in the press. They're so good at just cutting off passing lanes and harassing teams into to not have too many touches on the ball. And that was Southampton's problem at the beginning of the game. Now Southampton are starting to slightly get back into the game, but the problem is now they're at least winning the ball back. They're struggling to do something with the ball when they have it in possession due to the fact that there's nowhere to go with the ball. This is such a well-drilled Arsenal team, and it's only going to get better, which I believe Tony has already said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying to Tony
Those are
Apollo
some
before he came in, the only
boots
thing that can...
Tomiyasu is wearing.
They're all the same these days, Tony. They're not like when we played.
Tomiyasu are wearing. They're very nice looking, but they look so soft. It looks like he's wearing a woolen glove on his feet. They're so soft. Did you notice that?
All boots are like that these days.
Yeah.
They're all...
I'm going to tell you something for nothing. I wouldn't wear a boot that was that soft for love nor money, because you know when players stand on your foot with their studs, that pain is excruciating.
Yeah, listen,
man.
they don't do that in the NFL. They haven't done that for 15 years because have you noticed, Tony, the NFL doesn't have any metatarsals anymore. They don't wear them boots, my friend.
Arsenal have to be careful because Southampton have got Ward-Prowse, and he's excellent at set pieces, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? And we can't keep giving away corners and silly free kicks where he's going to capitalise on it. Tomiyasu puts one over his own bar there from the first corner.
That's good defending, though.
Because
that needed to be.
I mean, look at that crowd. Look at that crowd there. Look, you know where that ball's coming.
Yeah.
Arsenal #1 in the league defending in set pieces, and also #2 in shots allowed.
Hit the ref.
G says Jesus is one of those strikers that even if he's not scoring, he's so important. Not only is he pressing, but he's so good in the build-up play. He's dangerous dribbling and the ball and passing. Just seems like him having the ball makes other people more likely to score.
Fair point.
See, but so it hits the ref, right? Now the ref gives the drop ball to Southampton from where he was standing, but that wouldn't have been the original place where the ball would have gone to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the ball was going out wide towards the touchline, but he gives the drop ball halfway in from the touchline and the penalty area. But that's not where the ball would have been. So that gives an advantage to Southampton because they're starting right in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, good work.
Andrew says, question, January transfer window, sign is required or not? My opinion, I've already talked about that in a video, and that is a big fat no.
Okay, so I will respond to your big fat no and say a big fat yes. I appreciate that what you're saying is a priority is getting Martinelli, Saka,
correct, and Saliba.
Somebody else signed up.
Saliba,
yep, that's it.
I'm not moving from that, Tony. That is a mountain that I'm going to die on.
Okay, I'm not questioning that decision, but that decision to me, should be made in conjunction with
Oh, come on, Martinelli
that
got
one
sold there.
signing.
So I'm gonna counter press you on that, Tony.
Okay.
In January, you're gonna get back Smith Rowe, you're gonna get back El Nene, and and Zinchenko's gonna be obviously back, because I don't even know what he's gonna do in regards to the World Cup, because this injury, obviously he needs rest. So you've got 3 players there that I've just mentioned who are gonna come back into your squad rotation. So what do you need?
Yeah.
What is it
Well
that you
done,
actually need in the
Saliba.
new year? You see where I'm coming from, Tony?
I do.
Get your core young players signed. Get them to sign extensions. That's your priority.
Yeah.
Gary,
Do you know what I think we missed?
defending these corners, aren't we?
Yeah, very. They just had about 5 or 6 in a row.
I know.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't talking. I was just busy watching. But I think we missed, and I still think we miss it. I think we missed that target, man. I know we want to play on the floor, but I just think we missed that target, man. That Giroud type player.
And remember,
I know
what
we're
said
probably
to you
never,
a
we're
couple
probably
of
not going to
months ago?
sign him.
The system doesn't require a player of that aptitude. It requires
Yeah, no,
the
I
players.
hear exactly what you're saying there.
I don't agree with that, Apollo, because look at Haaland.
Oh no, but listen, they've won 5 titles in the last 6 years without him. So
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, but how many European Cups have they won in that time? And let's talk about that. Let's talk about the guy who has won all the European Cups in that time. A certain Karim Benzema.
Well,
Great point, Tony. Great point.
So then let's shift it to Liverpool. Liverpool have a small front three. They've had Firmino, Salah, Mane. They won the Champions League as well, mate. They've only just gone and bought a big target man in Nunes.
I beg to differ, because what do you call Bobby Firmino? If you ever wanted a big target man, he is a big target man. Yeah,
I wouldn't call him a big target man, but he's a target man. Yeah, I do agree. He's not a Giroud. He's not a Hala. He's not a big target man. I wouldn't call him a big target man. He's not a small guy. I would say he's their version of one.
Just walking on the carpet.
Saka's just been fouled on my screen. Gary, I'm probably about 5 or 10 seconds behind you because I'm watching it on this.
Yeah, Saka got fouled, no foul given. Southampton break. Party intercepts. We go back down now, and Martinelli has a shot which is just deflected wide.
Wow.
Cam says we need to get another because second half fatigue will fit in. If Harry Kane does that and is awarded a penalty, if Harry Kane did that, he'd be awarded a penalty. And then he says no room for racism. Andrew says Liverpool beat Spurs in that final, Apollo. They failed against a top team, but they still beat them in the final. They beat the top teams on the way to the final, mate. It's like Andrew. It's like when some people try to discredit Arsenal winning the FA Cup. What they fail to realise is on the way to the FA Cups, Arsenal beat Liverpool, Man City, and all them teams, mate. We're the ones that are knocking out the big boys in the FA
Chelsea
Cup.
in the final,
and then Chelsea in the final. So it does make you laugh when people try to say, "Oh, it's the FA Cup. It's easy to win." No, because you got to beat Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool to do it, and that's exactly what we've done on most of the FA Cup finals that we've won.
Well done, Odegaard.
Great covering by Odegaard there. Brilliant.
Excellent.
Points.
Hey, Tony, Odegaard playing free safety there.
He was, yeah.
Doing his impression of Ronnie Lott. You might not understand what that is, Gary. I'm not sure if you're into the old gridiron.
No, I used to watch it quite a lot, but not. I don't really follow it that much these days. I was into it when the Chicago Bears were winning the Super Bowl with William the Bridge Perry.
Andrew said I was being naughty. Andrew, when are you never naughty? When are you never naughty? I don't know whether we're going to see Ebony afterwards because there's a cross coming in into the far post. It's well defended, though. The flag's up. Okay.
I'll tell you who I'm impressed with. I'm impressed with that Benacocha, that Southampton centre-back. He made his international appearance for Germany the other day, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
the funny thing about the way how this squad is developed, guys, is you're actually looking to see which player are you possibly going to lose in the next year. And the only two names I could think of is El Nene and Suarez. I can't see any other player leaving the club. Maybe Reece Nelson, but I'm not sure. We just need to play Reece Nelson more. He's someone who Reece Nelson can be a valuable 25-man squad player. But you're struggling to actually see who is actually going to be leaving in the next year outside of those two names I mentioned.
Yeah, that's a good shot, Tom. That's a very good shot. I think Reece Nelson just needs playing time. He needs a run of games, which is why I'm quite surprised he doesn't get an outing in the Europa League.
Yeah, I think there's been disappointment that on one or two occasions they've put Martinelli or Saka in, and they really should have put Reece Nelson in. It doesn't.
Well, hang on. We've only played 3 games. He played one of them fully.
No, I'm sure we've played 4, haven't we now?
No.
Is it 4? Yeah, it's 4
No, we
games.
play
now.
our 4th game this week. Don't forget.
No, we played 4. We played 4 already. So the PSV game was the 4th game.
The
PSV game was the 4th game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
no,
the 4th
because
game.
we're playing PSV this week.
Yeah,
No,
that would be game 5, and then it's Zurich to come.
The one we played last week was unscheduled, and the one that was moved. The game in hand was last week.
No,
yes,
because
boss, because Tony, hold on, Tony.
We're on
everybody,
9 points.
Tony, hold on. Everybody played in the Premier League, and we were the only team that played in Europe.
Apollo, we missed the game because the Queen died. We played 3 games.
Yes, and the game last week, everybody was playing a Premier League game, and we played a Europa game.
That was our 3rd game. We're on 9 points, brother.
So, Tony, we've played PSV once.
Okay,
go
look it up. Go look it up.
Hold on, Tony. We played PSV once, we played Zurich once, and we played Bologna twice.
Who?
He's right, Tony. He's right.
Twice.
We played the Swedish team or Norwegian team twice.
We played them home and away. We've got 12 points.
Okay.
Tony, last week, everybody played in the Premier League. We were the only team to play in Europe.
Great move. Oh, unlucky. Arsenal pressing again.
Yeah, I think Southampton's doing a much better job of closing down the spaces for our front 4. But honestly, we look like we're playing at the Emirates.
Yeah, this does look like a home game.
It does. Guys, I'm going to have to get a drink because I'm a little flustered at the moment. So I'll speak back in a second.
Go ahead.
Oh, what a save! What a save from the Southampton goalkeeper, from Jesus.
Oh, what a save.
Anywhere else in the goal, that's in, isn't it? Anywhere else in the goal, that's in.
That's a push in the box, isn't it, on Ben White?
No, don't be silly, Tony. It's an Arsenal player that's gone down. That's Harry Kane. That's a penalty or something, isn't it?
What a save. It's point
straight
back.
At him.
Yeah.
Straight at him. Keeper should save that. Straight at him. I'm quite disappointed that it's only 1-0 in this half, considering the amount of opportunities that we've had.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're enjoying the game because obviously Arsenal are showing a lot of things that make you pleased with the way we're playing. Just the final ball, the final shot. Oops. Ouch. No foul? Okay. Thought that was a foul by Tommy Yasu.
Well, I think the thing is, why you're only 1-0, there's always the opportunity.
Yeah. Well done, Tommy Yasu.
Come on, let's get the second before half time. That's a foul. That's a yellow card, surely. The ball gets played into Jesus. He turns. He's about to release someone on the right. He gets taken down, but no yellow card given.
No, that's soft. That's soft. That's definitely soft. It's not a big tackle. It's a foul, but it's not a yellow.
It's not so much the big tackle. It's that he's about to release an Arsenal player on the right, and he can't do that because he's been fouled.
Cross it. Oh, Unlucky Ben. Because he's got a
Well, I
lot
think
of players
Southampton.
behind him, I think that's why that doesn't get caught. If he was the last man, then possibly a yellow. But because there's a lot of players behind him, that's why I see that not being
I
awarded
just
as
think
a yellow card.
I just think that player knows if he doesn't foul him there, he's going to release someone on the wide right,
Yeah,
and then
too many
they're in double
options.
trouble.
Too many attacking, too many defensive options are there. I think it's a foul, nothing more than that. 2 minutes of extra time. We're into the second minute already. It's been a very good, productive first half. As I said at the start of the
It's
game,
just a
I
shame
think
it's
the
only 1-0
ideal
though, isn't it?
situation is we would have scored. Oh, what? Poor pass from Partey for the first time.
Partey stands firm on the edge of the box. But see, that's that little bit of defending there, Tone. That's what I'm talking about with Ben White. First of all, he shouldn't get beat to that ball, then he gets nutmegged. Too easy.
It's good defending. And
Half
that's
time.
the time. Half time, yeah. So let's talk about what we've seen. I mean, do you want to go first, Gal? Give your opinion on summary of the first half.
So I think we bossed the whole 45 minutes, to be honest. Southampton had a little 10, maybe 15-minute period where they've come back into it, but we should have been out. We should have been out of sight already. This is the thing, isn't it? It's kind of the same old story. We're having all the chances. We've nicked one goal, but we should have had 3 or 4. You know, Jesus could have had a couple. You know, maybe we had a penalty shout as well. That, you know, and it gets me that VAR doesn't even get involved and look. You know, the little punch on Jesus' back. All right, it's not enough to make him fall to the floor like that, but nevertheless, it's still a little punch, isn't it? You can't, like you said, Tony, you can't do that.
Well,
You know,
like
these
one of
things
our
frustrate me.
subscribers said, if that was Harry Kane, that would have been a stone cold penalty, even though it was outside the
I
box.
think so. Well, we saw one with Bernardo Silva, didn't we? When he put his leg in and then he gets fouled.
Yeah, so my feelings on the half so far, again, you know, much like yourself, Gary, we both agree we should have scored more goals by now. But it has been a pretty dominant performance by Arsenal in the first half. We've seen some good passages of interplay between the players. The inverted wing backs, again, coming to a fore. You know, we've seen Tomiyasu, we've seen Ben White doing good things in, you know, advanced parts of the pitch. You know, I just hope Gabriel Jesus gets a goal because he's put so much effort into this first half. You know, he's been back into play. You know, he's played up the front. He's led at the front of the line. He's pressed. You know, he does so much work for this team. And, you know, I feel like the fact that he hasn't now scored in 4 games kind of makes me want for him to succeed and score goals again to get that confidence up again.
Yeah, he's going for a little bit of a drought. So, guys, it's halftime. Southampton 0, Arsenal 1. Somehow, I can't believe it's just 1 goal that separates them. Arsenal should at least be 2 or 3 up. They're all over Southampton. They plugged them in the first 20 minutes and didn't even give Southampton any space to breathe. Xhaka made all of that pressure early on count with a quality right-footed finish from what was a pinpoint accurate cross from Ben White on the right wing. We've been talking about Ben White for the last 2 weeks on this channel, and it just cannot give him enough praise. And you know, with Xhaka's getting hella praise from the fan base. And for me, it's like Ben White is the unsung hero. He's the guy, game in, game out. I mean, has he even had a bad game this season? I made a point about the Zaha game when he shut him out and held him to without an assist or a goal. But he's absolutely been on point for the whole season. So this really looks good. Xhaka now 3 goals, 3 assists in the league this season. That's his best effort ever. The formation change from Southampton's manager gave them a little bit, got them back into the game a little bit. But as I said, they didn't do nothing with the possession that they had. So a couple of big saves from Bazuna as well, their goalkeeper, which kept things respectable. If it wasn't for the Southampton goalie, then it definitely would be a lopsided score. I can't ask you what your opinions are, guys, because you've already given them. This Facebook user says, awful ref, hasn't got a clue what he's doing. You haven't signed the waiver at the top in the heading of the previews, which will allow me to see your name. G is saying it might be, it's Bobby Borman. So that was Bobby Borman. G is saying, thanks, G, for always filling in those guys who I don't know who were on the forum. He says, now we've lost control. We really need to kill matches off early. That's our main flaw so far. I know, and that will come, mate. You have to remember that this new sort of experienced lineup that we've gone with have only played 10 games together. Isn't that strange? We're talking about we need to do this and we need to do that and we need to be more clinical and we need. But guys, we're not Man City and Liverpool who've played together for years. You know, the young core only started last season, and the experience that has added to that has only played 10 games. So, guys, that will come. I believe Gary said that. Gary said it will come in time. So just have a little bit of patience and enjoy the level of football that we're getting. Danny, you're supposed to be on the stream, man. Let me chat to you if you're not busy with little baby. I know baby's grown up now, so he ain't a tiny baby anymore. But it'd be nice to see you on the stream and hear your thoughts, bro. Danny says, what's up, lads? Pure corruption from the ref. 2 clear penalties. Clear punch in the back of Jesus. Yeah, it definitely was that, mate. I'm not sure. Again, it's the Song versus Rob Holding issue when he elbowed him and nothing was said or done about it. It's the same thing all over again. Saka gets fouled, gets booked for diving. It's one of those things. Andrew agrees. He said patience is vital all around. 100%, mate. 100%. Gary, I'm going to come to you because we had a podcast in midweek, and we gave our thoughts on our top 3 players of the season. It went. Let me just come back to this. Hold on, Gary. I'll be with you, Gary. I'm coming. Vincey went with Saliba, Ben as number 1, Ben White number 2, Xhaka number 3. Danny, who's in the chat, Danny went with Saliba number 1, Saka number 2, Xhaka number 3. I went with Saliba number 1, Partey number 2, Jesus number 3. Tony went with Partey and then Saliba and then Martinelli. Good shout there from Tony. Ebony went with Saka number 1, Saliba number 2, Tomiyasu number 3. So who's your top 3 players so far this season in that order?
Top 3 players so far this season. I think you can't look further than Granit for number 1. I think his performances have been superb. Goals, assists, breaking up attacks, tackling, just his leadership on the pitch alone makes him probably one of the most valuable players in the team at the moment. So I'd give him my number 1 slot. And then number 2 is a really tough decision because obviously you've got Saliba, who has been immense, although he's made a couple of mistakes, but the mistakes that he made he hasn't dwelt on them. He's just got on with it and put in another good tackle or another good clearance. He's calm under pressure. But then you've got Partey, who, when he doesn't play, Arsenal are not the team that we see here today. So I'm more inclined to give Partey my number 2 vote and Saliba my number 3 vote. But then you think about it, and then you think, well, you're leaving out Saka, you're leaving out Martinelli.
I know.
I think they're only allowed to do what they do because of maybe
Thomas Partey
Saka and Partey, and then Saliba's at the other end stopping the goal. So sometimes it's more important to get a good tackle or a good clearance or to be in the right position to block across, because without that, nothing comes the other end, if that makes sense.
100%.
So that would be my 3, Xhaka, Partey and Saliba.
Right, so let's look at the stats in the game right now. Cam says Gary has his lips firmly on Xhaka's behind. Credit where credit is due, though. But Saliba has
I've always been a Xhaka fan. I've always been a Xhaka fan.
Yeah. They're coming out in
Always.
their droves, mate. They're out of the woodwork now. But when he, as Kevin Campbell pointed out, when he does all them dumb foolery, everybody's hiding and got nothing to say. But and that's the reason why I'm like, I don't feel any way. I'm not the biggest, the player's biggest fan. But yeah, applaud all the the fans coming out and applauding him because.
And another goal today with his right foot again.
Yeah. Shout him out, man.
Two in a week with his right foot.
Pick him up. Let's put on the tail of the tape, as Tony, the Puglis boy, would say. So here, I wonder if I have to get rid of this. Do I have to get rid of the banner? Yeah, I think so. So at the moment, guys, we've got 60% possession away from home. That is nuts. Guys, this is Southampton. We normally come here and get under bare pressure. We don't have a good record here, guys. We don't have a good record at this ground at all. We've got 8 shots.
Over yet.
Oh yeah. We've got 8 shots against Southampton's 5, 3 on target. God, we should be dumb. We should be killing this game off. Southampton's had 1 shot on target, and that shot on target from Southampton was after 90 seconds, by the way.
That was their right back.
Yeah, we've got 2 off target. We've got 3 shots blocked. Southampton's got 4. Passing fast is nearly 88%. Southampton 77%. We've had 2 clear-cut chances, so that goes to show you at least we should have had a goal out of those 2. Southampton, though, have had 6 corners. As Gary pointed out, we enjoyed a little bit of a merry-go-round there. And Arsenal put their abdominal, immovable object of defending set pieces to the test there with 6 Southampton corners. And we've been offside 3 times and Southampton won. So that's the tail of the tape. I wonder if I can have a look at what the table looks like. Tony hates this, but we love it. Can we see the table? Oh, sorry, guys. Scores on the doors. If we can get them up. Can we get them up? Leeds United 1, Fulham 1. That's half time. Aston Villa 3, Brentford 0. That is a massive shock considering they just got rid of Steven Gerrard a couple of days ago. Tony covered that in the Friday night Premier League show. We've got also Leicester City 2, Wolves 0, which I think is a shock as well. I believe Wolves. Let me just check with Wolves.
I had Wolves to win that one on our Friday predictor.
Yeah, I'll Tony, they've got their players back, right? Am I wrong? Yeah, no, they haven't got them back. No, they haven't. So Jimenez and Neto are still out of the team. So that probably explains why.
I was saying to Tony Apollo that it's amazing that Villa get rid of Gerrard and then they come out and they're winning 3-0. Now, surely there's not a lot that new guy could have changed. And it just shows you when these players don't want to play for someone, they just won't perform. And it doesn't matter what team you are, who you are, whether you're a Klopp, you're a Wenger, you're a Guardiola. If they, well, maybe with the exception of Guardiola, but if they don't want to play for you, you've got no hope.
And I've got, as you know, I speak to a lot of football agents, and what a couple of guys have said to me last week is that he just doesn't have a commanding voice in the locker room. And what I mean by commanding is you've got to be stern when things go right. As a manager in my company, I praise where I need to praise, and when I need to go the other way, I don't do it in public. I do it behind closed doors. And
but the thing is,
can I discipline sorted out?
Can I jump in on that one?
Yeah.
The interesting thing you make about that is being stern as a manager has its place, because I think you could look at someone like Mourinho, and I think it's clearly shown in the documentary All or Nothing when he was at Tottenham. You have to be stern. Some players, it's all about putting a hand over the shoulder and being a moddy cuddler. But others, you need to kick up the backside and say, what are you doing?
And that's it. And as I said to you, Tony, as a manager myself, I know that my reps' customers are their customers. That's how they get paid. That's how they get commission. My reps are my sales force who work for me. That's how I get paid. So you have to be firm but fair, and you always have to challenge where need be, and let them know. Look, my staff knows if you do this for me, then I'll do this for you, and it works both ways. Where it goes wrong is if I'm doing this for you and you don't do that for me, then that's where we have to sit down and have a conversation because we have a problem. And I think that that's where that relates to any work, whether that's football, whether that's in the workplace, you know, in your job. Everyone's got to pull their weight together in order for it to work. And I think that with football players, time and time again, and I made this point when everybody wanted Arteta sacked at Christmas and when everybody wanted Emery sacked, where our players were lazy, weren't pulling the weight, wasn't working hard enough, and everybody was saying Emery out. I was like, hold on a second, guys. This works two ways, you know. When they walk past that white line on the pitch, it is down to the players. And if they're not doing the job...
100%. 100% correct.
Aston Villa 3, Brentford 0. I still can't get my head around that result.
Yeah,
so far.
me too. I can't see it. Moses says we need to kill this game off. Bertrand says, come on, players play for themselves, not the managers. Andrew, and that is a part of the problem of the game. Fix that problem, Bertram, and then you have a winning team. Andrew says, Bertram, top players will accept imposition by a manager, if not destroying their confidence. And Bertrand says, Mourinho, Fergie, Arteta, Conte, Ferguson were all firm and stern. Yep, agreed.
Yeah,
and that is what demands respect. That's that's what
those are guys that would that gave you the hair dryer treatment when they needed.
Yeah, but I think that was then. This is now, and I think if you see the way that Arteta's gone about it, with the likes of Ozil, Aubameyang, you know, he hasn't stood for their nonsense. He's told them this is what you're going to do, and then when the opportunities arose, they've left. He's put them out the club. He doesn't want them there, so he went about it in a different way to the Ferguson and Mourinho's. And I think that's the thing. And that showed the whole squad that doesn't take no shit.
You know what? You know what makes me laugh, Gary? Everybody, I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm just going to say a lot of people agreed we needed to change a culture. And as soon as the culture changes, they were up in, look how he's treating Aubameyang, look how he's treating Ozil. Look. And I was like, hold on a second. You can't have it both ways. You either have a change of culture or you don't. You either put your foot down, stop the damn furry, or you just allow it to keep going on. You can't.
The result of everything he's done, we're seeing now.
Yeah,
we're seeing the result of what he's done this season so far, because everybody now is under no illusions that if they're not towing the line, they're out the door, and everybody is now pulling in the same direction.
Yeah, they know.
I mean, the thing is, though, I think that there will come a time when you're going to come a cropper with that kind of stance. I think you need to have a bit of gumption about you as a manager.
Yeah, why I don't agree with that, Tony, is because what a team needs, any team, whether it's baseball, basketball, American football, cricket, you need people who are accountable. And
look, we're getting a bit of the Stoke treatment here. They're rubbing the ball down with a towel.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. You know, you need leaders on the pitch. You need people who can pick up the game.
He's got that. He's got that in Xhaka. He's got that in Jesus. He's got that in Saliba. He's got that in Gabriel.
Everywhere. Leaders all over the pitch, mate. Leaders all over the pitch. Everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere. Everybody's a leader. And that is the big difference between us and 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, but he wants every player to have accountability, doesn't he? He wants everybody to have that accountability. Like other managers may only give to 1 or 2.
From Thomas Partey.
I know, when Saliba was playing chicken with the forward, and Thomas Partey just broke the press with 1 pass.
It was not even a touch. He just like boom. That's like, oh my god.
Partey's unreal, man. He just got fouled there, and the referee didn't do anything. Yeah, unbelievable. Andrew says Wenger changed the attacking prowess at Arsenal. He made
Come on, Saka.
Yeah, he did, but Wenger didn't play defense. He just didn't focus on a spine, and we didn't get a spine until Arteta came into the team and bought Ramsdale, Saliba, Gabriel.
Poor Martinelli.
That was
poor Martinelli.
You know, we could name some of the centre backs that Wenger's brought in, and we cannot
Feet.
call fines.
Wenger was lucky because he inherited the famous back four or back five, if you include Seaman. But there was a question that I saw asked, and they was talking about Ashley Cole, and I think it was Lee Dixon. And he said Wenger never had any input at all into Ashley Cole. It was all Tony Adams.
So
It
here's
was
why.
all Tony Adams that taught Ashley Cole how to play left back.
So Gary, you are 100% right. I cannot disagree with you.
Oh my God!
What happened?
Misplaced pass from Saliba. From Ben White. Puts the Southampton forward 1-on-1 with Gabriel. Gabriel snuffs him out on the edge of the area. Southampton still have the ball over by the corner flag. Very lazy pass.
Yeah, I'm seeing that now. Yeah, Gabriel there in Jules getting back to the old Gabriel because he signed that new deal.
Well covered,
Gary,
Gabriel. Brilliant.
I was talking about. Oh God, let me try and bring myself back. I was talking about the back four. So Gary, you're 100% right. Cannot disagree with you at all on that. But where the respect for Wenger is that he went and built the Invincibles back line of Ashley Cole, Torre, Sol Campbell, and Lauren. So can you see where that pays out? So everybody says, he inherited a great back line, but he actually went one better by creating a back line that went unbeaten throughout a whole season. Ashek, good to see you, bro. He says, don't you just love to see when Martinelli plays? We finally got an elite ball carrier after Alexis. Well, the person who actually leads the team in dribbles is Saka. So isn't it amazing that we've got Saka, Jesus, and Martinelli who can all dribble and carry the ball into the box with their feet? A far cry from a couple of seasons ago.
Saka's having one of his dodgy afternoons.
Is he?
Yeah, just lost the ball again. He's getting double teamed every time he gets it. So
yeah, he is.
Sometimes you need to just take that touch, lay it off, spin and go.
Yeah.
I
don't mind him. I don't mind him losing it there because look, if you're gonna do something, that's the place to do it. Because when it works, you've just eliminated three guys out of the game. And
I hear what you're saying, but when you lose it halfway in the opponent's half, if everyone is pressing forward, they nick the ball deep inside their own half. They're straight way back at our back four because everyone's then pressing forward. So
but look at what happened. They barely made it over the halfway line before they lost the ball again. So that's why I think there are times when you'll get caught because you're pressing high up, but there are times when you can afford to do something that might be a little bit risque. Lose the possession.
Saliba, just pass it back, mate. Jesus. Saliba took a slight risk there when he could have just passed it back to Ramsdale, but passes it back to Ramsdale in the end. No danger.
Yeah. He does that though, doesn't he?
I think the question is, guys, is will Arsenal regret their dominance in the first half? I think that's the big issue for me. No changes in the other game outside Leeds 1, Fulham 1.
Go on, Shaq. What running by Xhaka? What running? This guy, he never gives an inch. He's never injured. But I'm saying that now, and he stayed down on the floor. I think when all the others are getting rested, and it's Xhaka that always plays, doesn't he, in every game, and he gives 100,000,000% every game, and what a machine.
Andrew says, however, a player arrives into the squad and you have to know how they'll fit in the dressing room. That is key to it as well, my brother. It's all about dressing room. Everyone's got to be a leader when they step in there. Yeah. So, 100%.
It's dressing room harmony, isn't it?
Yeah.
The harmony in the dressing room has got to be good for the team to succeed.
This is a question. Dressing room harmony is really important. But let's just say the most absolutely ridiculous thing came up. If you was offered Kylian Mbappe for 20 million, would you take him now?
No.
Would you say, no, he's too much of a problem in the dressing room?
Yeah, 100%.
Take Mbappe wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't have
Arteta
him.
wouldn't do that.
You don't want to bring in one player that's going to upset the whole apple cart. And everything that you've worked for them 3 years all goes out the window when you sign these so-called superstars. You think they're bigger than the team, the club,
Yeah, but
and
hang
everyone
on
else
a
on the face of
second.
the planet.
Hang on a second. We are talking about the fastest of fastest. We are talking about a goal machine. He's right up there with Erling Haaland in terms of goals, yeah? We're talking about someone who could change your team so dramatically that you're willing to say, you know what? I could take him warts and all.
Not for
I'm going
me.
to have to pay him $500,000 a week. But for 20 million, can I afford to? Because that's something that some teams clearly are saying, well, I can do that, warts and all. You know, when Man United took back Ronaldo, they said, okay, we're taking him back, warts and all. When PSG
Yeah, but look how that's working out. Look how that's working out, though.
Yeah, they've got a big problem, man. G says, Jesus makes our attack incredibly dynamic with his movement and passing ability. Best all-round centre forward we've had since Robin van Persie. The goals will come. Cam says, I'm pretty happy having a striker that can assist, score, and dribble past 3 players. I remember the days of Aubameyang doing absolutely nothing if he didn't score, or Laka doing nothing at all.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that, because Jesus is a combination of both Laka and Aubameyang, but better in all aspects of both what they did.
Jesus just wrestled to the ground again. Again, no free kick.
Guys in the chat, tell me if you had an option.
I'm looking at the defender's got all these arms around his neck.
Yeah, and what's going on there?
And
the referee's just doing nothing. No. What you got to do to get a foul? 18 saying, Tony, remember, Jesus is only 25.
Yeah. I'm not saying to get rid of Jesus. I'm just saying if you have an option, yeah. I understand. What I'm trying to do is just have a discussion about unity within the dressing room, because it's clearly a big thing. You know, there are clubs out there who have got a plethora of great players but can't do anything because there's disunity in the dressing room.
Southampton have got a corner that they should never have had. Bad defended by Gabriel there. The ball gets cleared after the non-foul, and Gabriel, for some reason, he doesn't go across the pitch. He just
he looked like he stopped, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he thought the fullback was there, but he wasn't. And then he's realising he's had to go across, but he should have been across quicker than that.
Andrew says, are the players truly upset that Aubameyang is no longer there? I could tell you from inside news, the answer is no. They felt he was very much a player that was into himself. And also he wasn't the type of player who would, if you had a bad game, he wouldn't come over to you and consolidate you or anything like that. So they thought he was very much out for himself, although he had a nice personality. We all saw that. G says, if that's Harry Kane, it's a foul. Jesus is the most fouled player in the Premier League.
Yeah. Clash of heads.
Yeah.
Mummy, come. What?
So you might be able to hear my grandson in the background.
Yeah, I just heard that.
Mikel Arteta having a quick conflab with the guys, getting them all together very quickly. That kind of tells you that there's something not quite 100% right about the way he's seeing things at the moment. When he gets a team together, he wants to make a change. He wants them to do something a little bit more to affect the way in which the game is going. The one thing I would say is Southampton have certainly had their fair share of corners.
They have.
What is it with Xhaka's socks? Why are they bright white at the back?
Because they're tight. I've noticed a few
players.
Not like
that.
Martinelli's got the same. Martinelli's got the same. So they press on his calf. So what he does is he cuts a hole so there's release of tension on the calf.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Looks like the play's back, guys. Guys, I'm at 57 minutes and 10 seconds.
57-18.
Okay, yeah. So I thought
I'm the
so.
same as you, Apollo.
Yeah. Big shout out to everybody out there on the Facebook and YouTube. I haven't put the game on Twitter, so I'm a bit naughty for that. I actually should. In fact, let me go and do that now.
Andy Roach says, I prefer turning a player into a superstar rather than acquiring one. You want an
Arsenal
element of
make
loyalty.
stars, don't
This
buy
works
them.
both ways, of course. I get it. I mean, you know, look, we've got our Hayland Academy, which is producing stars on a regular.
Arsenal get away with one there. Throw for Southampton on the far down Arsenal's right. The ball gets played down the line. Cross comes in, far post. Southampton player totally misses his volley.
Martinelli attacking down the flank.
Ramsdale, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's shouting at his players because the options weren't there.
Yeah, but if the option's not there, just put it down the field.
Yeah,
Don't let the guy close it down.
That's not what we're taught to do now as a goalkeeper.
Yeah,
We're
but
taught to try and,
that's
you know,
fine. That's fine not being
give
taught
the
to do that.
players a little option to get an extra, you know, bit of space, then let's try and do that, you know. What
Play through. Go on, son. Go on. Oh, Gabriel Jesus.
Oh, my word.
Great pass. That should have been a goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tackle is the last dart.
That you've got to convert that. That's got to be a goal. It's just he's taken too long to pull the trigger. He looks like he's fluffed it.
Yeah, it was a miss kick.
The ball back.
Yeah, it should have been a goal, that Tony. It's
a great tackle.
Yeah, because he's taken too long, Tony.
The defender should never been allowed to get back to make the tackle.
Yeah, and then Tony, you got to put it on your outside left foot. He's not done that. He's let the ball continue to run in the middle to give the defender a chance. You've got to place the ball wider to the left to give yourself a chance to open your body up.
Corner, Xhaka over the bar.
Oh dear. All right, where are we? Andrew says, you want an element of loyalty. This works both ways, of course. Ashek says, where do you rank Ramsdale among the current goalkeepers in the Premier League? I would rank him number 3 in the league.
Is this going on current form or just in general?
In general, but I am going to look at current form because, you know, when it comes to stats, Gary, nobody loves you better than Uncle Apollo. So let me have a look.
On current form, he's got to be number 1, isn't he?
No,
I believe so. Hold on.
Why is that?
Have we conceded less goals than anybody?
No, we haven't.
Right, we'll
I know that, so I'm asking. I don't know.
We aren't.
That was the question. That was the question, Tone.
There's at least 4 teams above us in goals conceded.
Oh, is there? That's a shock.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that, but
no, there is.
Yeah, okay, so that is not going to be a good stat. Here we go. Goalkeeper stats. Here we are. This is what I wanted.
I mean, let's just be honest. Edison and Alisson are easily the gold standard of goalkeepers.
That's why I said third. Right, yeah, that's why I said third.
Those 2 goalkeepers have both had an assist in the last week, which has been
on current form. On current form, you wouldn't have Alisson, though, would you?
Alisson created a goal yesterday for Salah, or the week before rather for Salah. Edison yesterday created a goal for.
Did you see that pass? That pass was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That pass was ridiculous.
You know,
excuse me.
Ramsdale can do that. You know, but those 2 guys are just different gravy. I mean, if you looked at Kepa in the last couple of weeks, you'd say he's up there because he's been outstanding.
Okay, so guys, yeah, okay, so yeah, all right. So
Let's have it. Let's have it, Apollo. Give us the news.
do you guys remember who was our chosen goalkeeper of the season last year when we did our team of the league? It was Jose.
Yeah.
So he's still up there. Nick Pope is up there with Newcastle. He's the third ranked goalkeeper. Pickford is number 2. Neto in Bournemouth is number 1. Aaron Ramsdale's number 10. Yeah, so Aaron Ramsdale's save percentage is 69%. Neto's 84, Pickford's 81, Pope's 81. Yeah, so Ramsdale actually has a mid-table save percentage. That's a strange one.
Jesus is down, clutching his wrist.
Again,
Look, this defender, look. Arms all over his shoulders.
Down again, and the goalkeepers, the refs having none of it.
This is ridiculous now.
He's not having any of it. He's not interested. The ref has labelled him a diver, so the ref is just not doing anything.
That's just outrageous.
It is. Guys, Aston Villa 4, Brentford 0, Ollie Watkins.
I can't believe what I'm watching.
I mean, they're allowed to pull him down at will and no one's saying anything about it.
Literally, they're saying like this level of defending is acceptable.
But it's both hands over his shoulder.
Yeah, the referee's saying, go on, take your shots at him. I don't care.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I want this second goal.
Party. Oh, God.
Yeah,
I mean, how many times am I going to say that?
Look at that. Partey puts the ball through 3 midfielders into Martinelli. Martinelli tries to do the same thing and can't get it done. That's incredible. And Andrew agrees.
Oh,
that's
God.
Incredible. This is what I'm saying to you. Thomas Partey in transition. I don't think there's anybody better.
1-0.
In the league.
Southampton have just scored.
Oh wow!
They play it out from their own box. There's a lovely dummy that sells Ben White down the river. They switch it to the other side. A lovely run from midfield from Armstrong. Gets played through.
It's actually a really good through ball.
Yeah, and he finishes 1-1.
Yeah, they really broke the lines with that. They haven't had a sniff all day. They've not had a sniff all day. It's the pass that does it, Gary.
When you're only 1-0 up, this is what happens.
Yeah.
The dummy.
There's still 25 minutes to save the game. We've still got half an hour. But it was a quality goal. You can't take it. The pass in through to Armstrong, you can see it here. This is unbelievable. We knew that the dominance in the early first half was probably going to pay. The ball comes through now. You can see he's just slipped that ball through Tomiyasu and Gabriel, and it just breaks the defense there. Tomiyasu probably should have got tighter on him.
Yeah, but where was the runner from midfield going with him? There was no one.
Well, that's
it comes from so far out. Yeah. It comes from so. I remember seeing where the run comes from. It's so far out. It's a great move.
Yeah, what it is, Tomiyasu gets his angles all wrong. Tomiyasu's leaning to the left, and the player goes to the right. So he's done him, and then he plays the ball through Gabriel. Gabriel is just standing still like this. Gabriel's just standing like that. He plays the ball right onto the side of him. But the inventiveness of the pass was good. The defending wasn't great.
We've had all them chances. And it just galls me that we concede the goal, and it's 1-0. Tomiyasu, what are you doing? Southampton on the attack. Southampton still on the attack.
Unbelievable.
Southampton still got the ball just outside the Arsenal penalty area.
Getting done again down the right-hand side. Although good recovery to shot off that lane.
No, still Southampton. Over the bar. Maybe it's time for some substitutions here because maybe the certain players that are out on their feet.
Andrew predicted a 3-1 victory to Arsenal. This is probably Bobby again. Bobby says both ends of the pitch to blame for this. Yeah, I think so. I think so. And look.
What? Oh, Jesus Christ, Arsenal. Come on, Arsenal. Left the 3-0 up, Maddison.
Oh, man. And the table is not looking as good as it did 5 minutes ago. Oh, man. We need to make these games count, man. Look, guys, we know it's impossible to keep up with Man City. Liverpool tried that and couldn't do it with 99 points last season. But we've got to fight. We've got to try. We've got to fight.
Thing is, the Arsenal players now look like they've got no ideas. You know, Southampton are bullying, they're harassing. Arsenal are panicking.
Yeah, which is why we've got to make the subs. Jesus has just frustrated this game, though. He should be on the score sheet. He's got to be. If you've got to count it, if Haaland was in those situations, Tony,
He's called back Eddie. Eddie's getting changed.
Yeah, we've got to get Eddie up.
Yeah, Eddie's coming on. And looks like Kieran Tierney.
Oh, man.
See there, look, things like that. Odegaard, he's trying to run with the ball. It looks like he's been fouled, but no fouls given. Southampton, now they have a corner.
Okay, so is Marquinhos coming on or Tierney? Let's have a look and see what they do.
Tierney took his top off.
I'm not sure why
It would
he's
make.
not-
It looks like you're basically
It's all
bringing on
Southampton,
Tierney
right?
for attacking prowess, and you're bringing on an extra striker. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Odegaard come off.
Well, Odegaard's just been.
If you
he's
ask
just been
me,
grabbed by the
Odegaard is having
ghoulies.
one of them games again. He's not been. He's not. You know, he makes the odd pass here and there where you go great, but in general, he's not been effective in this game.
Bertrand says Odegaard has been spectacular all game.
What?
Yeah,
A
he says,
spectator.
Who said that?
oh,
Not
sorry.
spectacular.
Yeah, I know.
Spectator.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Oh, Southampton are in again.
A spectator all game. Yeah.
Oh, good save by Ramsdale. Saved by Ramsdale from Aribo. Just throw the ball, Ramsdale. He's standing in front of you. He's going to get a yellow card.
It's all Southampton, man. And we don't do well at this stadium, man. This is like a bogey stadium for us.
Jesus has been clattered again, and now he's finally got a free kick.
It's pathetic, man.
Really? Finally? On the 8th occasion, 9th occasion? And he's kicking out at him and all.
And the rest.
What's that?
Oh, so now the
Literally.
Martinelli off.
So we go 2 strikers.
Martinelli and Ben White off.
Ooh. I'm not really sure about that one.
Tierney and Eddie on. I think Martinelli's had a very quiet game, isn't he?
He might be going free at the back, but free at the back, I don't agree with that considering that we're on the back foot at the moment. The last thing you want to do when you're on the back foot.
No, he's not going free at the back because he's got a left back and a right back.
Yeah, exactly.
Tommy Ashley to right back, Tierney to left back.
Yeah.
Cam says, this is what I hate from Arteta. Team looks so bad and he never makes the subs to fix it until it's too late.
The team doesn't look so bad.
Potter is superior on that. Cam, well, Arteta's done okay so far, hasn't he, mate? He's won, 13 out of 14 games this season?
And the team don't look so bad. You know, he's making it out like we look like a disaster here. We're not. We're in this game. We've been the better team. We still are the better team.
Yeah. And there's always that saying, isn't there, Tony? You have to remember there's 2 teams on the pitch. There's 22 players, not 11.
Exactly. You know, give credit where credit is due. You know, Southampton, they've weathered a storm. They've come back into it. You know, they've scored a good goal, but, you know, there's no way you're telling me that they're the better team right now. Here's your boy.
They've been for the last 15 minutes, Tony. Southampton, and they've looked more likely to go and score a goal.
72, Gary, ain't the better team.
What you know? What
72-minute
counts,
game
Tony,
so far.
is what's in the top left-hand corner at the end of the day. That's
Yep,
all that counts, mate.
matters. And it doesn't show us losing a game; it shows us
What-
drawing a game.
Theo Walcott's come on now.
Yeah, Tony
Che
just said
Adams.
that. Yeah.
He's still stealing the living as a footballer. Unbelievable.
Cam saying Theo to come on for the winner.
Oh, is he still
Oh,
playing
dear.
football?
No,
Look how
what kind of a
great he
ball
is,
is that, Party? Oh, what kind of a ball is that? Give it to him on the ground. Party intercepts a loose clearance and he chips the ball into Jesus. Just put it into his feet.
Nearly fell to Eddie, though, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Eddie will scoop those loose balls up, man. He ain't got a problem with that. So Eddie hasn't scored in his last 2, and Jesus hasn't scored in his last 4. Someone's got to get a goal here. It's got 20 minutes, lads.
Yeah. Come on, Arsenal.
Southampton working incredibly hard, though, in this half.
There's no press from Arsenal. Look, he's just run away from Odegaard there. Look.
Odegaard needs to come off because he's been a spectator, as Bertram said. He's not effective in this game at all.
He's been a spectacular spectator.
When you said spectacular, I was like, what? Who's watching that game?
I thought, what game is Bertrand watching, man? Go on, Ed.
Yeah, I got to admit, I didn't have these on, Tony. I might not look my age, but my eyes are going. Andrew says Southampton are the home team. Retain the ball, kill the momentum. Yeah, I agree. I mean, they should have done that in the first half, though, Andrew. They should have done that in the first half. I mean, they're winning every second ball right now, Southampton.
They're winning every first ball as well. It's not just the second ones. I mean, look at that. They've got people in space.
Yeah, Southampton's in full press now, man. They're in full press.
I mean, what they've done is they've made an adjustment, guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they've made an effective adjustment.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Tierney got a kick in the knee.
I'm calling for a red card for Theo there.
Ouch.
Foot up, studs up, get him off the pitch. He could have been so good for Arsenal. He was okay, but he could have been so much better, couldn't he?
He was okay. Are you mad?
Are you mad? He's a centurion.
Are you in, Gary?
Hold on, sorry, Gary. Hold on, Gary.
Nah, not. Listen, he scored 100 odd goals.
Gary.
But he could have been so much better.
Scored 100 odd goals.
Gary, he's the 14th highest scorer in Arsenal play in history. What more could he possibly do? What did you expect him to be?
He could have scored 150. That's what he could have done.
He was a winger, mate.
Yeah, no, he spent too much time thinking he was Thierry Henry when he got the number 14 shirt. That was what's wrong with him.
What winger scores 150 goals in the Premier League?
Not for me. Not for me, guys. I'm never going to have it. Not for me. Sorry. I just think he could have been so much better.
How?
I just think he could have been so much better than. He had so much promise, so much talent. He never fulfilled it.
Goals per game than Ryan Giggs average. What's his name? Lundberg and Robert Perez. Are you mad?
Yeah, but Lundberg only played 3 seasons, 4 seasons.
No, we're talking about per game, mate. Per game.
Yeah, no, I'm never gonna have it, guys. I'm never gonna have it. I just think he could have been so much better.
Goals in a season. Do you know who scores 20 goals in a season, Gary?
Who?
Do you know which wingers score 20 goals in a season? Salah, Song, Mahrez, Sterling.
He didn't score 20 goals as a winger, though, did he? He was playing centre forward for some of that campaign as well.
No, he played as a winger.
Yes, he
Gary.
was.
Gary, hold on a second, Gary. I'm coming for you because you can't do me with Theo like that, and you're gonna lose, mate. You ain't gonna win this one. Let me just hold on a second.
It's not about winning, Apollo. It's about making your opinions.
This isn't an opinion. This is statistical fact, mate. So
Excuse me.
Referee.
Hold on a minute.
What the hell? This referee is this referee has cost us the game.
I know.
If we don't win this game, it's the referee's fault because he's absolutely having a mare.
He's a Southampton man, I suppose.
Yeah, we're always dog shit against Southampton.
Tierney's still down, isn't he? Tierney's still down, isn't he?
I believe so.
Well done, Eddie. Brilliant, Eddie. Eddie filling in at left back there.
They're a bit rough, this team, aren't they? Read that, please.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Theo Walcott. I just think he could have been so much better.
Oh,
I just
No,
think
you
he could have
don't.
been so much better than
You
what he
don't
was.
love him. Let's be honest.
He
You
delivered.
like him, you
All
don't
right,
love him.
Gary,
If you
look at
loved
this.
him-
He was okay.
There
He
you
was
go,
okay.
Gary.
I wouldn't put him down as an Arsenal legend in the sense of the word
Gary,
legend.
can you read that out? What does that say, Gary?
Oi, come here.
Theo Walcott has 11 goals in 11 starts. The forward strikes rate shows why he can be the centre of attention at Arsenal. Yeah.
So I'll add some context to that. We played Theo Walcott as a striker. Oh God, Gary's gone. Okay, we played Theo Walcott as a striker, and as a striker, he scored 11 goals in 11 starts. And the game he got injured in was the Tottenham game, and he was out for 6 months. And that's the one he put his hands up when he was being stretchered off, and he had the 2-0, which was one of the most famous posters that Arsenal players have had. He was an absolute dominant force for Arsenal. And to think that they really ever played him at centre forward, and he was full of goals.
I noticed
Hopefully
Granit
Gary will be
Xhaka's
back.
dropped. Granit Xhaka's dropped a lot deeper than he's normally positioned. So there's been a change of formation.
Yeah.
Go on, Tierney. Go on, Tierney. Go on, Tierney. Hit it! What a goal!
Oh!
What is it? What is it? It's gone out of play
Everybody
or
said
something.
Odegaard was out of the game.
It's not a goal. It's not a goal. It's not a goal.
What do you mean it's not? Oh shit! They're saying that the ball was out.
Yeah, it
They're
was
saying
out.
that
It
the ball
definitely
was
was
out.
out.
But Tierney, yeah.
Yeah, definitely out.
Oh yeah, it was. It was. Oh shit, man. Yeah, the ball was out of play. Oh man. Andrew
But
said.
you know what I'm
Southampton-
going to say, Apollo?
Man,
Tierney got fouled again.
I know.
He
I
actually ran through a bad challenge to get that ball.
Yeah. Oh man. This is frustrating. Oh.
We've still got 10 minutes. It's coming, mate. It's coming. Have faith.
It is.
Have faith. It's coming.
Oh man, that was so. I was. It just
Let's
seems
go,
like the
Arsenal.
effort.
Let's go.
It just seems like the effort levels are dying a little bit. It just seems like Andrew saying Southampton are the home team, retain the ball. Yeah, I read that one already. Cam says Xhaka, Saka, and Jesus all look jaded. Lack of depth and rotation starting to show. Well, which ones were they rested? No, I think they all played midweek, didn't they? But not 90 minutes outside of Xhaka. G says team looks tired. Arteta's lack of rotation is slowly catching up with us. Arteta is rotating though, guys. I don't understand why everyone's saying he's not rotating. He's probably the only manager at the top level that's rotating, because the other guys are playing in the Champions League. They're playing their starters. Man United are playing in the Europa, and they're playing their starters. Arsenal's the only team that are rotating like 7 players, so he's rotating. I don't understand why you guys are saying he's not rotating.
Go on, Eddie.
Good ball there from Gabriel. Yeah, it's a nice ball from Gabriel, but Eddie's got 2 guys on him.
It's a corner.
That's it. Oh, Eddie's gone wide.
It's a corner.
Yeah. Oh.
See, we're back on the ascendancy now.
Yeah, it's a good pass there to Eddie from Odegaard.
It's good changes by the manager. I think he's made great changes. I think this has shifted the balance. Go! Oh my God, it's gone right through. There were 3 players lined up to put that in the net, and it just gone right through them all.
Right through everybody. Oh man. G says Tomiyasu has been poor. Surprised White was taken off. Yeah, that was a strange one.
Offside.
Oh yeah, it's got to be offside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be offside there.
Go again, Arsenal. So I'm of the belief that we will get another goal. Here comes Fabio Vieira. and I'm going to be certain it's Odegaard coming off.
Yeah, Odegaard coming off of Vieira, yeah.
Because he's done nothing all game.
He just made a transfer, Nketiah there, mate. He just played a through ball to Nketiah on that.
Let's be honest. In the 90 minutes, his contribution's been pretty poor.
Well, I'll leave it to Tony Cox to confirm that when he looks at the stats at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mate Tony will sort you out. Man, we got 10 minutes, guys, to score, and otherwise, this is not going to be a good day at the office for Arsenal. This is, you don't want to give one of these ones up, guys, with Man City being so hot on our trail. You don't want to give one of these up. Right now, it's Arsenal on 26 points. Sorry, it's Man City on 26 points, Arsenal on 28 points. So that 4-point gap that we had at the top of the table would only be a 2-point gap.
Still a gap, mate. We'll take that.
It is, and that means that we'll have a 5-point gap over Spurs. So,
but they play straight after.
And guys, look, if we draw today, we draw. This is a tough place to come to. We got away with it last week at Leeds. We've been riding our luck. Arsenal have lead the Premier League 27 games without a draw. So this would be our first draw in 27 matches. But come on, lads. Let's do this.
Vieira gives the ball away in his first action.
Yeah, I saw that he should have played the ball. Too much dribbling and not enough playing the ball. And they go down the left-hand side. Saliba's tying up.
Parade. Corner to Southampton.
Yeah,
this is danger.
Gary, what happened to you, bro? Gary says I'm back, but I can't get back. I can't see you coming in the chat, Gary. You should be able to get back on the link that was sent by Tony. I'll send it again for you, mate.
I've got it, Apollo. I'll send it for you.
Yeah, it's all right. It's gone. I've just
got it? Okay.
Yeah. Always fun to have Gary on the stream.
Good header, Gabriel.
Yeah,
great header.
Nice clearance there. We just need to take control of the game from the midfield. That's where we got to take control of it. Southampton
with a spell of pressure from the corners.
Yeah.
Oh, but now it's going to fall. Oh, unlucky.
Man, I hate when I see stats like that. That was Armstrong's first goal in 21 matches.
Mm.
Oh, Lord.
Watch the Shea Adams run. Good tackle from Jesus. Vieira, rise the tackle, gets fouled.
Winning the ball back high up the pitch. Xhaka then plays it out to Fabio Vieira, who gets fouled.
Score update. Fulham 3-1 against Leeds now.
Yeah. Still 4-0 Aston Villa over Brentford. And 4-0 is the score of the day today. Leicester City over Wolverhampton. The chances that we've missed, though, and fluffed up, man, this one's got to be on Jesus. He's not in good form at the moment, lads. Liverpool rocked up. Andrew says Liverpool rocked up at City Ground expecting 3 easy points.
Great ball. Vieira, you've got to control that and kick. And he's too easy there. Oh, he looks good.
Yeah. Vieira getting Fabio Vieira getting depossessed easily in the final third.
Move out. Come on. Quicker.
Oh, man, this is so frustrating.
Did he lose the ball?
No doubt. And Andy in the chat is going to be loving it because he's been desperate for Arsenal to drop points. That's the thing. 27 games without dropping points. Yeah, without a draw. Obviously, we dropped points because we lost at Old Trafford. But outside of that, we haven't drawn a game in 27 matches. And that's really been the difference.
Oh, Thomas, come on. A rare moment of poor play
Yeah,
from
and
Thomas
in fairness, he had nowhere to go there. Like,
Yeah.
I just looked, there was nothing on. There was absolutely nothing on. Southampton in possession at the moment, though, guys.
Arteta is going ballistic on the sideline, wanting us to. Oh, have they got that? Bloody hell. Danger. Oh, no. What happened? Offside. Was he offside?
I think so.
Oh, it's close. That's
It was.
very close.
Yeah, it was. Gary's saying, nope, still can't get back into the studio. I did send the link there. Did the link come through? Yeah, it did. Yeah, the link came through.
Yeah.
G saying Southampton goals shouldn't have been counted.
Why?
Gary said, have I been banned for comments on World Cup? Not at all, mate. Oh, Jesus, we need a moment of magic from Jesus, man.
He tried it just then. Did Theo Walcott really get a yellow card for simulation?
Oh,
Wow.
I can't believe that, yeah.
I
G
thought he
says,
got
not enough
sandwiched.
magic on our final third.
Oh,
I think I just...
terrible play by Theo. Terrible. He actually went for the foot out and missed.
Yeah, did you see that? Yeah.
That was
That's
awful.
not like him. He never used to do that at all when he was at Arsenal.
Yeah, he's learned how to do it now.
Yeah, the wily old fox has learned some dirty tricks.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Come on, Arsenal. We can get a winner in this. Granit Xhaka has definitely dropped deeper.
Did
Great
someone
pass from
say
Granit.
Willian at Fulham just scored? Oh, my God. Willian just scored.
Yeah. Oh, what a pass from Granit. Oh, Eddie. Mind you, he was surrounded.
There will
Come
be
on,
5 minutes of time added on, guys. 5 minutes of time added on.
We can still do this. We can still do this. Have
Yeah,
faith.
there's plenty of time. Plenty of time
Come
left.
on, boys.
Plenty of time left. Plenty of time left.
You know what? I kind of think we've lost a bit of shape with Martinelli not being on the pitch.
And as Bertram has just alluded to, the subs haven't made an impact on the game. Fabio Vieira cannot get anything going. I mean, you guys said that Odegaard didn't play well, but this guy's been worse since he's come on. And Nketiah has had one chance, which was the one that Odegaard played through to him, and he missed the target, but he's not been able to hold the ball up. So yeah, the subs haven't been good. Kieran Tierney, he would have got the assist for that had it not gone offside. So they've not really made an impact. I mean, Fabio Vieira, he just crosses the ball in. It's a low cross. It doesn't even. I mean, that's poor.
You got men. Oh! Oh my God. They were lining up to score there. They were lining up to score. We are so close to a goal.
Oh, man. This is tense, guys. This is tense.
Gabriel's gone up as a striker.
Drew is saying if Arsenal would have played
What is Vieira doing?
I don't know, mate. He's been dog shit since he's come on.
Oh,
he's been awful.
Do something this time.
It's been awful.
Oh, Saka. What are you doing? Pushing everybody forward, and now we're leaving ourselves exposed.
Yeah. It's 2 against 3, so we've oh, here we go. Don't foul him, Gabriel. Southampton now is on the
Someone's
attack.
got to hold that. Go on, Eddie. Push, press. Everybody press.
Okay.
Look at this player. What is he doing? Referee. Thank you. I want to punch him in his face.
Yeah.
What he's doing is
Andrew says, don't allow them to be in the other end. Cam says Fabio has been way worse than than
Did you see what he did with his head?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
That should be a red card.
Yeah.
That
This should have been a red. Yeah. But look, I mean, why is this not being looked at? He's laughing. He's been booked for a yellow, but really, that's not a yellow card, is it? Yeah, it should have been a red.
He deliberately went for a headbutt.
This always happens against Arsenal. Ramsdale should have called Saliba to just head that one down. Oh man, this is frustrating.
Come on, boys.
This is frustrating.
Here we go.
3 minutes of added time played.
Oh,
2 minutes left. We have to make it count. Just when you don't expect Partey to give the ball away.
Come on. Let's get that ball back.
It's now 1 minute left, guys. Look, a draw today would not be a disaster.
It's not at all.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a disaster.
You know, we've still been the better team over 90 minutes. We just lacked a little bit of cutting edge.
Yeah, and I've got to be honest, in the second half, I mean, Gary's saying Saka hasn't had a good game today, but in the second half, Partey's been poor, Xhaka's been missing. Who has actually played well in the second half?
Give the ball to Partey.
I think they've all been poor.
Come on, play the ball faster, Gabriel.
But mainly Jesus in the first half with those missed chances.
Oh, that's a great ball. We've got a throw
from Gabriel.
Yeah.
No. Ooh. Hasn't that goalkeeper fouled Nketiah?
Now that's an accidental coming together, but it's a throw to Arsenal
in
a deep area. Let's get everybody forward. Let's get a goal here. Got 10 seconds. Gabriel's in the box. Big throw coming in. You got to throw it because otherwise he'd be offside if he. There it goes. Here we go. Corner ball.
Oh, man.
No, it's a goal kick. And the game's over.
It's going to be over, guys.
Okay,
so there it is. It's done. Right. There's actually not really a lot to unpack here. I would be hard pressed. I know Gary's talking about Saka. I'm talking about the midfield. Partey, Xhaka, and Odegaard in second half were just non-existent.
No, I wouldn't say Thomas was non-existent.
He struggled in transition and was sloppy with the ball. So he didn't have the first half. Xhaka, again, didn't have the effect he had in the first half. Odegaard was, even though Odegaard did a lot better than Vieira, as I said, he played that through ball to Nketiah. We were just poor. Every player on the pitch was poor in the second half. Tomiyasu really struggled in the second half. I'd be hard pressed to give you a good player, someone who played well in the second. I mean, why did we take off?
Martinelli.
Yeah, why did we take off Martinelli? Bertrand says we have scored 4 goals in the past 4 games. Says everything. We need too many shots to score. The last 2 games, though, Bertrand, have been away games to Leeds and Southampton. 2 very difficult places, and we've had 4 points in those 2 away games. So as I said to Tony, it's not a disaster. It's not a disaster. Gary says I'm out, guys. Have a good one, Gary. Have a good one, mate. Let me just clean up player ratings. Let me just try and clean that up as quickly as possible. Yeah, I mean, really, guys, that game should have been over in the first half. We should have tied that one up. Lot of
I'm gonna
missed
say
opportunities.
I've seen some poor refereeing, but today was bad.
Yeah,
Today
it was.
was
He weren't interested. He just said, "Look, I'm gonna leave you and let you roll around on the floor, and they can abuse you as much as they like." And that's what the ref did. That's not good refereeing, because what that does is that just entices Southampton to go hunting season and just chop all of our players down, which they did at will. And actually, in the second half, I can only say there was just one of those tackles that ended up getting called a foul. Forget the booking, but actually called a foul. There's just one.
Apollo.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is a totally not related football question.
Yeah.
But I just need a quick answer.
Mm-hmm.
They got an advert on for Gangs of London. I've never watched it. The advert looks amazing. Is it set in the future?
No, it's not set in the future. I believe I did a review on it. I think I did. In my opinion, Tony, Gangs of London is the best British production that I've ever seen. I've never seen a show as polished. The story is amazing. The acting's great. The action is the best action you will see on any British production. You will not see action like this show. You'll come out of this thinking, why on earth didn't I watch season one? The director is Gareth Edwards. He's the guy that directed The Raid, one of the best martial arts action-packed films ever made. And he's translated that type of choreography into a British drama, and it is absolutely brilliant. And absolutely the best British show, in my opinion, ever produced.
Thank you, mate.
Let's have a look here.
I might get into that this afternoon.
Yeah.
You're doing your ratings.
Yeah, I'm just typing them in here.
It's a bit of a frustrating game, but I think there's a lot of things that we could discuss. I'd love if Bertram could come on, because I'd love to hear his opinion. If you are able to come on, Bertram.
The problem is, Bertram gets vexed when we don't win, so that's going to be a hard one.
I know.
He gets vexed. Mind you, New York. I didn't see the second game from the Knicks, but his New York Giants are just balling right now, man.
They are indeed.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the referee was so poor, and I mean, I can't say it's the referee because it's not just him, it's the refereeing. And if you watch Match of the Day last night, it's a weekly thing where the guys who are the ex-pros are going ballistic at what refereeing decisions are happening on a week-by-week basis.
And you do see a translation when you watch the Europa game on the Thursday, and you see the difference in how a referee referees a game in a non-biased way. You do see it translate over into the performance of the referees. Hand on heart, I can't say that I've seen awful refereeing in any of the 4 Europa games this season. I can't say that. But in the Premier League, week after week after week after week, it's the same old dross. Oh man, I don't really want to give this guy, but I'm going to have to. Right, the scores are not good, I'm afraid. Let me just go.
I can't help but think somebody's going to get a pasting very soon.
Yeah, I mean, all right, I'm going to go with mine. I don't want to keep the stream too long because no one's ever happy when we don't win. But let's go through the player ratings. I'll try and talk my way through this one. All right, guys, how you doing in the chat? As always, if you got ratings, let me see them. I'm going to go with a 6 for Aaron Ramsdale, and I'm not going to blame him for Armstrong's goal. But I didn't think his distribution was good at all today. But outside of that, I mean, I thought he had an average performance. My man of the match goes to Ben White. I thought Ben White was the best player on the pitch. I thought that, first of all, I need to mention Gareth Southgate. How is this guy not in the England team? How can you tell me that you can put those players in on the back line who are getting threaded and shredded every single week, and this guy balls out? He creates, he's on the overlap, he defends well, he keeps clean sheets. The goal wasn't his fault today. That was Tomiyasu and Gabriel. And then a problem in the midfield with transition. Nothing to do with Ben White. And this guy is not in the England team. You should be embarrassed. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ben White, just absolutely a fantastic first half. And then he gets taken off, which I don't understand why he came off. I need Arteta to explain that to me. He goes wide. He lays the ball on the money for Xhaka in the middle, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. Bertram, nice of you to join us, man. Always a pleasure to have you on, Bertram. Good to see you.
Hi, Bertram.
And I hope you had a good birthday last week. Things are good.
Birthday was excellent. Then got frustrated by Arsenal this morning, so that's not.
Oh, because it's early. It was early doors for you this morning, wasn't it?
9 o'clock game. Yeah. I couldn't come on the stream because I had to watch it in my bed. It was a good thing I was under the covers. So.
Where was I? So Ben White gets my man of the match, guys. And again, I don't know why he's not in the England team, and I don't know why he was substituted. Big mistake. Saliba for me gets a 6. Wasn't the most convincing performance, but I think it was solid all around. And again, the goal wasn't his fault. But there were 1 or 2 instances where I thought he was a little bit shaky. Didn't see much of his transitional play today, but I like the one where he looked for Partey and Partey just broke the midfield, broke 3 plays on the midfield with 1 pass. But overall, I'm giving Saliba a 6. Gabriel, though, I'm going to give him a 5. The reason why I'm going to give him... Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to give him a 5. I think because I did see him defend really well in space. It was just the goal where he just stands up and does nothing. He doesn't move. He stands up still, does nothing. And I think he could have challenged the ball better on that. So I do blame him partly for the goal. But outside of that, I actually think that he had a decent game. So you know what? I'm not going to give him a 5. I'm going to bump that up to... I think he had I'm going to bump it up to... where is he? Gabriel, at 6.5. And bump that up to 6.5. So Tomiyasu, I'm going to give a 5. I think he got dragged around everywhere. I talked about the goal. If you look at the replay on the goal, his body is leaning to the left. He's got his angles all wrong. He gets switched out on the right. So he got completely woofed on that. It was a Tim Hardaway crossover by Armstrong against Tomiyasu. And I just thought he was just a pace off the ball. I thought he was always getting the ball played behind him and just didn't have a good game. Thomas Partey. This is a difficult one because I thought he owned the game in the first half. And it is a game of 2 halves with him. Absolutely dominant in the midfield in the first half. Second half, sloppy, giving the ball away. Something that's not accustomed with Thomas Partey. And just didn't have a good second half. So, unfortunately, I'm going to give Partey a 6.5. Xhaka, I'm going to give a 7.5. A little bit like Partey went missing in the second half. Didn't have the intensity that he had in the first half. Took his goal really, really, really well, and just not a good display in the second half to back up his excellent performance in the first half. Martin Odegaard, I'm going to give a 6.5. How did this guy not get an assist in this game? I counted, and I'm still waiting for Tony to look for the numbers. I counted 4 or 5 through balls to strikers, and not a single one of them finished. 4 of them went to Jesus, 1 to Nketiah. And everyone, I'm reading the comments, even from Tony and Bertram, saying that he was trash today. This guy could have had 3 or 4 assists. When he came off, Vieira was just, you'd expect after a performance, which Odegaard didn't get anything from this game through no lack of trying. But you'd expect Vieira to come in and do something better, and it just completely dropped off there. So that didn't work. But for me, guys, saw some real killer passing behind the Southampton's back line, but there was no reward for him. So it was a real shame. That 6.5 could have been an 8 or an 8.5 had somebody finished any of those chances. Martinelli, I'm going to give Martinelli a 6. It was, again, very energetic. Didn't create the havoc that we are accustomed to him. And this could go to Saka. So I'm going to grade both of them exactly the same. They both get a 6. Didn't see the penetration. Didn't really have a go and dribble into the box, take on the defense, challenge them. The intensity from our wide players just wasn't there today. But the reason why we struggled to score was Jesus, who gets a 5 from me. How many chances did he miss today? He didn't get any help by the referee. I put my hands up. Referee totally threw him under the bus today. But the fact of the matter is, if you had Haaland with those chances today, he would have scored. It's got to come down to the striker. There was so many instances where he had the ball, which the goalkeeper made a tremendous save on, but then don't hit it straight at the goalkeeper. The other one where he had 2 through balls. One of them I said to Tony, he should have had a touch. His first touch let him down. He should have had a touch on the left away from the goalie. He touches it into the goalie, and that allows the defender to come back and make a play on the ball. I just didn't think he was sharp today. Hasn't scored now in 5 games. That's a problem. That's a problem. If you're talking about admirations of challenging for the title, if you go to Man City and then you have Haaland not scoring in 5 games, that's a problem. So we have to translate that onto Arsenal. Yeah, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If this is what we expect, then the expectations have not been met over the last 5 games. And we know what he can do. And look, I'm sure when the goals come, they'll be flooding in like the number 18 bus on Harrow Road. But unfortunately, it's not happening for him today. And just a poor game. Arteta, I'm going to give Arteta 6, which for me has been the lowest score I've given him this season. I know it's frustrating for people, and they come out and say the changes are not being done and everything. Some people even talked about there's no rotation, which I find is absolutely bonkers, considering he's the only manager in the top 6 teams that is rotating his team 6 or 7 players midweek. But today, I just think, I mean, it's easy to blame Arteta for the lack of finishing on his front line. But if there's one thing I felt he didn't do, I don't think he changed the game well. Southampton, you can see, made those changes, made it difficult for us in the midfield, clogged up the midfield. And I don't think that he had an answer to that. And I think he became unstuck today. So that's me, guys. Shall we go to Bertram, Tony? Because he wasn't here. It'll give you a little bit more time to reflect on your scores. And also we want to know how Bertram actually is. So Bertram, first of all, how are you? And
I'll leave that up to Bertram. Sometimes Bertram likes to go last. So if
I'm gonna flip it back to Tony. You were here, Tony. I'm gonna take your guidance on this.
Do you want to go last, Bertram?
I'll go last. Yeah.
All right. So Tony,
I know you very well, Bertram. Okay. So I'm a little bit more glass half full, because this was a game we should have won. There were lots of good elements. The first half especially was superb. Some of the finishing, it was inches between an opportunity and a missed opportunity. I think, there are situations where a manager makes good changes, and that's what I would say Ralph Hasenhüttl made today. He made some changes in the game, in-game management for Ralph Hasenhüttl. I give him a 9 out of 10 because he managed to get a positive result from what looked a sure enough disaster. So Ramsdale, I didn't think he did a great deal wrong. I didn't think his distribution was woeful. There's not really a great deal he could have done about the goal. I would love for us all to be able to look at that goal again in isolation, because I've seen it several times on the Sky replay, and it's apparent that the way that move was created was by the way that Southampton set up their team. There is one key element in the whole move where the player who scores
Armstrong
is in an acre of space, and there's a dummy in the Southampton half where the ball goes past two Arsenal players, including Thomas Partey, and Armstrong is running at that point. Is clear. It's like, if you get the ball, if the two pressers, which Thomas Partey's one, and I can't see who the other one is, but it looks like it might have been Xhaka. But if you intercept the ball at that point, that goal doesn't happen. But once the ball goes through the middle of the two views, the attacking midfielder, who is Armstrong, has now got a 10-yard gap in which to attack space. Just space. There's nothing behind him. There's nothing behind Xhaka. There's nothing behind Partey. They're all too far advanced, and they play this perfectly, because they gain the ground with that pass through our lines. The ball comes out wide, and what Elyounoussi does is he manages to move players with the way he comes inside, and the on-running Armstrong runs into a perfectly open space, because he runs across the pitch in such a way that he eliminates Ben White. He runs between Saliba and Gabriel, and literally the only person who has a way of stopping that move is Tomiyasu. And what Tomiyasu doesn't do is engage with the player, because he leaves the guy Elyounoussi enough space to thread that pass. And at that point, the player is one-on-one with the keeper, and he plays it perfectly. Who's to blame for that whole move? Tomiyasu is partly to blame, because he needs to stop that player Elyounoussi making that pass. He's too far away from the player. But at the same time, Thomas Partey has let that player run, because he went in for an interception in the other half of the pitch. And Armstrong seen the space and gone in behind both him and Xhaka. And then he makes a clever run. So, having explained all of that, I just have to give credit to Southampton. It's a brilliant goal. It's a very well played goal from inception. If I carry on with my ratings, so Ramsdale, I don't think gets a 6. I think he gets a 7, because he doesn't do a huge amount wrong in the game. Ben White has had a good game. He lays on the assist for the goal. Other than that assist, he doesn't do a huge amount wrong, but he doesn't contribute in a huge way as a right back. You know, you look at like your archetypal right backs, like Reece James, like Trent Alexander, like I can't think of another one, but he doesn't do that. But I'll give him a 7. Saliba, he made one monumental error in the game. Does he deserve to be marked down for that? It doesn't cause a goal. But
how much did I give him? A 6.
I give him a 7.
Oh, okay.
Gabriel, I thought Gabriel was a monster. He intercepted so many balls today. I'm going to give him a 7. Tomiyasu, I don't think he had a terrible game, but he is half. I give him 50% of the responsibility for that goal. So I have to mark him down. So I'm going to give him a 6.5. Thomas Partey, game of two halves, as you've alluded to. You know, first half, I'm looking at like the coming of Jesus Christ. Second half, I'm like, where is he? He loses too much ball in the second half. And you know how much I love Thomas Partey.
Mhm.
You know, he's almost become the player I come to watch playing football, because what I see him do in the first half, some of the things I see him do in the game, his cameo in the game at PSV, you know, just to me, make him an absolute worldie of a player.
Bertram said 2 years ago that you could sell every single player except for him, and we didn't buy into that, and now we totally agree.
I did buy into it because I
totally agree.
and I say it every time I get the conch.
Yeah.
He is still, to me, the only player that we can afford not to lose.
Agreed.
But I'm not gonna try and make out like he's impregnable. You know, he didn't have a great second half, and so I have to mark him down for that. And anybody, you know, I'm just being honest. If I had to grade him at half time, I'm giving him a 9.
Yeah,
if
me
I have
too.
to grade him at full time, unfortunately, it drops down. And you know, for the amount of passes that he loses, I have to go down to a 6, which is very unusual. You know, maybe I could get up to a 7. I don't know. I think he loses the ball just a little bit too much for me in the second half.
That's why I went 6.5. I was like you. I was like, he played too well in the first half for a 6.
I'm gonna bump him up to 6.5 with you. Xhaka 7.5. Maybe even I mean, you know what? I thought he had a great game. You know, Xhaka is doing so much good. I'm giving him an 8. Great take for the goal with his right foot, which is in his strong foot. But I think he's had a great game. And the fact that, you know what, he stays on the pitch and you lose the captain of the game. I mean, it just, you know, I say it. He is the real captain of this team. Saka and Martinelli, I kind of think like you in that they both didn't perform as well as they can do. And again, both were pretty good in the first half, but pretty much invisible in the second half. And as a result, I'm going to give both a 6.5.
Well,
just
I'd love to
slightly
see
above
what
you.
both of their dribble stat was today. I'm going to see if I can recover it. Yeah, carry on.
Jesus, guilty trying too hard maybe at some points, you know. I just think the referees just didn't help him at all today. You know, I think when you play a game of football and you get physically dominated the way he was unfairly at that, I think he was on a hiding to a great deal of nothing. Yes, I agree with you. He should have been a little bit more clinical in parts. But some of the things that I see committed against him today were absolutely ridiculous. I wouldn't go so far as to give him a 5. I think he's still head and shoulders above strikers that we've had in the past. You know, because he does do so much in a game.
He had 4 clear-cut chances today, and he couldn't put it in the back of the net. Which, as I said, reflected on Odegaard's statistics. We could be coming out of here today saying, "Oh, Odegaard man of the match. Odegaard 3 assists."
Yeah,
it happens, doesn't it?
I don't think he's a 5 because that would indicate that he was the worst player on the team, and I don't think he was.
Well, who do you think that who's scored thought was the best player on the team?
I've got it in front of me. I know who.
It's Jesus. They've given him a 7.49 rating. Then Martinelli, then Saka, then Odegaard, then Partey, then Xhaka. Yeah,
I've got on who scored.
I have a question.
Granit Xhaka.
I have one question actually.
You're looking at a different sheet than me. Yeah. So
do we have our own eyes? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I give Granit Xhaka man of the match like who scored does. I'm going to give Gabriel Jesus 6.5. Arteta, I think he made changes at the right time. I just think he doesn't have a great deal of options, which is why I keep saying we need something in January. And I know you're saying we're going to get Emma Smith Rowe back, but let's be honest. When he comes back from that injury, it's going to take him 3 months to acclimatise. Yeah? El Neni ain't good enough. Sorry. And Cedric Soares is playing in a position that we don't actually need Cedric Soares. What we need is someone up the field who can change a game. So I understand what you're saying, Apollo, in terms of the need to get those 3 guys contracts. But if the club wants to do some of this, you know, if we go into the transfer window in the top 2, we need to bring in another player, because quite simply, this squad as it is already showing me signs of fatigue.
Yeah, that's a fair shout.
This squad is already showing me signs of fatigue, and we haven't even got to December yet, because we know, you know, come the World Cup, we might get a rest for some of them players, but some of them players are going to be playing in a World Cup. They're going to come back, and who knows what kind of state they're going to be in.
The only thing I'd like you to think about, though, is that in January, those 3 players that we mentioned will have 18 months left on their deal.
Dude, I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah, but if we are in the top 2, as I expect, at the end of the year, in January, we don't have enough players.
Yeah, so you know what, Tony, we're both right. It's going to be a balancing act.
Yeah, because
it's going to be go out there and get what you need in the midfield to help those guys.
Absolutely.
And then whoever's willing to come to the table and talk about the contracts, get that done as well. So
thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Thank you. I'm done.
Bertram, first of all, how are you? How's your week been? Secondly, we did a podcast in the midweek where we talked about our top 3 players of the season so far. And then when you give us that, then obviously we'd like to your thoughts on today's game. Guys in the chat, don't worry. I'll come on to your comments after Bertram.
The top 3 players keep changing week after week, which is challenging, right? So I would say without doubt, the top 2 have been, even though one has dropped off, Saliba and Xhaka. And then you got to think about, is it Jesus? Is it Partey? There's a bunch of people in that mix. But I think to me, Xhaka and Saliba have been. And even Gabriel, who's made a ton of mistakes, if you think about the game he's playing and his physicality and how it is played, is in that mix. So I can only give you 2 that are clear. To me, some people started like a ball of fire like Jesus, and I've dropped off. And here's my concern. So I'm Tony's glass half full, I'm half empty. In the last 4 games, how many goals have we scored?
4.
And we haven't lost any, which tells me my offense is my problem. I've played 4 games and I've scored 4 goals and I haven't lost any of those games. And we don't have prolific goal scorers. JC needs chances to score. I didn't give JC's higher than a 5 today. You can't miss so many clear-cut chances and get more than a 5.
100%.
If you score 2 of those goals, we win the game easily.
Agreed.
Secondly, Saka is not a prolific goal scorer. He scored goals, but he's not a prolific goal scorer. And Martinelli is hot and cold. Here's what managers need to do sometimes. And I'm thinking about the league, how the league has been working. There's some players who you have in a box, but they're more than what the box suggests. Example, Xhaka, who used to play deep as an 8, but almost like a 6. Now he's playing like a box-to-box and putting the ball in the net. He scored in the last 2 games. If he didn't score in the last 2 games, he lost those games, right? I would have lost one of those games.
How's it going? Not bad. Hang on a second.
Well, here's the question for you, which is, because Vieira, who scored a couple of goals, was awful, was beyond awful. He wasn't ready to come to the game today. But here's the question you ask yourself. When you're changing Odegaard, does it have to be Vieira, or do you put Xhaka forward more and move Lakanga in Xhaka's spot? You're more defensively sound, more defensive physical, and Xhaka is showing he has offensive skills. And here's why this is important, Apollo. Because there are certain players you put in the box. I'm going to give you 2 of those players. Joy Linton and Iwobi are the perfect example. Iwobi was a forward who couldn't score. Joy Linton was a forward who couldn't score. By mistake, not by design. They dropped in the midfield because their team were down to 10 men in a couple of games. I think it will be dropped as a wing back in one game because they were struggling. Then dropped in the midfield. And Joey Linton, when Newcastle went on the 10 players last season a game, dropped in the midfield. And they showed in those positions how dynamic they could be because they have energy, they have physicality, they have skill, but they can't put the ball in the net. Xhaka, we've seen this year, we're moving forward, what he has done, but we didn't know that was in his repertoire. So the question is, when I take Odegaard out, and by the way, Apollo, I agree, he gave some assists today, but he was poor. He wasn't in the game. The reason why Partey was so poor second half also is because the way Partey plays is he doesn't just make the first pass. He's looking ahead, where can I make the most dangerous pass? If not available, I'll go local, I'll just calm it down and wait to get it back so I can make something dangerous with it.
Quarterback checkdowns.
The movement wasn't there in the second half today to give him those options. So then he tries to force it and he's resulting in turnovers.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with
and
that.
that's part of the problem, which is second half we get because you notice first half of Leeds game we're dominant. Midway second half left of the game we're poor. First half today the game should be on the site. Second half we're poor. What is happening? Are we tired? Why is it a second half we're not playing with the same energy, same vigor, and it's even the same skill as we do in the first half of games? It's like when we played the first game of the season, we played against Palace. Dominant the first 25 minutes. After that, we slowed down, and we weren't pressing with that same vigor to say we get tired. Right.
So those games you mentioned, we were away from home. So do you think it could be because the last two games have been away from home, and as I said, the Emirates has been an absolute fortress with mad crazy energy levels? Do you think that could be the case?
Home crowd give you energy. Our record away from home, we don't go away from home. We've been brilliant away from home this season, especially how we in our goal ratio. The problem for us is that we're not scoring enough. We need more prolific goals. I've been saying this for the last number of years. Saka and Martin to me don't score enough goals. Saka scored goals in bunches. He was 1 of 15 before he went in that 4-game goal scoring streak. Right? Includes penalty. Today he was anonymous second half. Martinelli anonymous second half. Odegaard anonymous second half. Where are they? And Xhaka, who used to get Xhaka is the only truly consistent person we've had from day one to now. Saliba dropped off the last 3 or 4 games. Not the same Saliba we saw was a Rolls Royce. He's dropping off. And so the question is, do we need a few more adults who have a few more skill set to help the team? Because Vieira today looked like he didn't want to play. He came in, he got ball, he turned over 4 of them. He looked physically
pushed around.
Yeah, that's why I said, why don't you move Xhaka forward in the 10 and put Lakanga on to be the 8?
Yeah,
Xhaka has skills, Some back heels that he's doing, some flicks he's doing. He gave Jesus one flick in the week, which Jesus didn't realize got him in on goal because he didn't think that's Xhaka's repertoire. So what I'm thinking about, you know what? If I'm going to make that change, and when Xhaka is forward, he's going to play some defense also, which Vieira doesn't give you. Vieira is physically not there. He can have skills. Physically, he's out of depth. So I'll give him my ratings. I'm a little bit more harsh than you guys are, I'll admit. So Ramsdale, I gave a 5. And so, because here's the thing, guys. A 6 means I've done more than the average. He didn't have to make a save today. Did he make a save today? Except a couple corners he punched out? He didn't have to make a save. So what did he have to do today to say is more than 5? Can't be. And the goal, he gave him a chance on. And by the way, on the goal, Tony, I'm not going to blame anyone for the goal because this is what's happened. When you press high, you're vulnerable behind. That dummy destroyed the entire defense, including taking part out of the mix. The one thing I'm concerned about is they're running from midfield. We don't have a tracker. So Firmino in the Liverpool game, the same thing and got behind the defense. Today was the same thing where you can blame Tomiyasu a little bit, but he's thinking the player can't go by me. He's thinking I'm going to protect behind me. He can't get behind me, so if I press the ball too much, he's going to get behind me and then I'm open. I'm vulnerable. He played off him a little bit. The player got behind. I'm not going to blame anyone for the goal. I thought it was a very good goal, very good build-up. But when my concern is on the other end, which is if you play 4 games and score 4 goals, that's the problem. But the other team might score, and then what happens? And today we got chances after chances after chances. I gave Ramsdale a 5. I gave Ben White a 6. But Ben White has to realize when there's 3 people surrounding Saka, don't give him the ball. Start the play over. Because he can't go anywhere to come back to you with the ball. He can't go anywhere with the ball. And he does it like 3 or 4 times in the game. He gave him deep with 3 people around him. He has no outlet. Switch the play over. Let them have to move. You know, they do that to us a lot because we press on one side vigorously, you know. When they switch it, Tomiyasu's side was open. They had 1-on-1 on that side or 2-on-1 on that side. We don't do that as much and as quickly as we should.
Yeah, I said that to Tony that we should switch it when it gets busy over there.
Yeah. Saliba, I gave a 5. He made one horrendous play today. It is a different team. That's a goal. He didn't have to do a ton. I gave Gabriel the same score. He gave him a 6.5. He won all the headers. They had a ton of corners. We had to get those out. He was winning all the others. I gave Tomiyasu a 5. I think offensively, Tomiyasu is challenged. I love his defense. I love his one-on-one play. But I think without Zinchenko, who has that skill set, we struggle a little bit. I think Tierney's a better offensive player than Tomiyasu, frankly, but Tomiyasu is a better defender.
Yeah.
Arte was an interesting one. Brilliant first half, poor second half. Some is rational. I gave him a 5.5 because second half, he just wasn't there. And that dummy killed him. That's where the goal came from. I gave Xhaka 8 and man of the match. I think Xhaka is underrated. I was one of the people who people think I always support Xhaka. I thought we needed an upgrade. I'm seeing skills in Xhaka I had never seen before. I see Switzerland Xhaka playing for us, not the old Arsenal Xhaka. Switzerland Xhaka, where I can do whatever I want. I'm the captain. I run the team. Playing with freedom, that's what I'm seeing. And that goal was brilliant on his weak foot today, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
The right foot goal he scored in two games on his right foot. And his passing was even more important. His awareness is important. He not only make the El Neni pass nowadays, he's making pass to penetrative pass. I thought it was very good. I thought Odegaard had some balls to assist today, but I thought he disappeared, Apollo. Throughout the game, he disappeared. Normally in the game, Odegaard is behind Saka, Ben White, Partey supporting them. Where was that combination today? Odegaard has been hit and miss this season, you know. Odegaard has been a hit and miss. And Odegaard disappeared when the going gets tough. Odegaard doesn't get going. Martinelli today was hit and miss also. I gave him a 5. I gave Jesus a 4. I agree with Tony that Jesus was manhandled. The ref didn't help him. But when you get clear-cut chances, so many of them, the last one where he should have cut across the defender, so if he gets it, he has to foul him. He was behind the defense.
That's what I said to Tony. Yeah.
Cut across, he has to foul you to get it, then you can make your decision. The one where he kicked the ball to the keeper, just placing the right-hand side, he had clear-cut chances today. I gave him a 4. I didn't think he was good enough. I gave Arteta a 5. Because here's the thing. He's picking the same team, so there's nothing different there. The opposition coach realized, like the Chelsea coach yesterday, Cucurella got changed in 30-something minutes of Chelsea game because Man U dominated in the middle. And he had to bring Kovacic on. Today, Arsenal did the same thing with Southampton. We dominated in the middle. He made a switch. The game changed. We didn't do anything to change the game. And by the way,
penalty must be.
So here's the thing. Don't bring Nketiah on to play wing. I'm sorry.
That must be a penalty.
Tony, talk to me.
So Joe Linton just got pulled down in the box. He's literally about to shoot on goal. He's definitely onside when the ball gets played. He's in on goal. It must be a penalty because the defender doesn't get anything on the ball.
And a red card?
It must be. Because the defender gets nothing on the ball. He's clattered Joe Linton to the floor.
It's only 5 minutes gone. It's not even that.
No, he didn't give a penalty.
I can't believe that. How do you not?
It's at Tottenham's home ground.
Where's VAR then? I haven't seen it. Where's VAR?
That's mad. You have to look at it. You have to look at it.
They're not even looking at it, are they? Hold on a second.
VAR is too inconsistent. It's not VAR. It's the referee who are poor anyway, who are running VAR. So the same referees
Yeah,
are running
but I
VAR.
literally said this. The in Match of the Day last night. I know you don't get that in America. You can if you get IPTV. But
I get match of the day. I have match of the day, Tony. I have everything.
So basically, the football experts who played the game every week are saying you're getting these calls wrong.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yep. And
Three or four decisions every week are getting called wrong.
Yeah, and we're having to, and they're not doing anything about it. That's the
here's the bad thing, guys. So in life, you love to have a replay for everything that you do, a hindsight view. We're getting the hindsight view and still getting it wrong. Which doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
Because at regular speed, sometimes you miss these things. We're human beings. We're not infallible. But when you get a hindsight view, you get a replay, and you still can't make it right, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, that's not a good thing at all. So let me just go through some of the comments. Sorry, guys, I've kept you waiting patiently. So let me just go through your thoughts. Randall is saying we have to be more ruthless and put our chances away. Moses is saying Jesus is not clinical. Danny is saying worst ref performance since Mike Dean game 50. And it says, I don't even think that VAR was working. Michael, good to hear from you, Michael. Michael saying lost power and pace, looked tired. The second half, the draw was about fair. I think the draw was about fair because we could have lost that game. There were times me and Tony.
Draw wasn't fair. We won the game in the first half. We just missed.
Jesus.
Four goals.
Jesus should have won it for us in the first half, and that just wasn't on the
cards. In the second half when he got that breakthrough. One-on-one.
Danny said the substitutions were all wrong as well. Randall says, remember saying it, look at the refs in Europe and look at the refs here. Exactly. And that's why I'm saying to you, watch our Europa games and compare the refereeing over here. G saying, starting to worry me how much of a drop-off we're having in the second half of games. Bamford last week was causing havoc in the second half, and we were lucky to get the free. And this is what I said to Bertrand. Both of the last two games were away from home. There's 22 players on the pitch, guys, not 11.
Yeah. So I think that the drop-off is definitely worrying. The thing that worries me, and I've said it before, is you have to look at what options you have to change the game. Because once again today, I can't blame Arteta for trying to make a change. Unfortunately, the resources he has don't allow that change to be effective. Because let's be honest, when he made the changes, it was bang on the right time. The game's going away from us. I need to make changes. The problem is you bring in players who are not capable of changing the dynamic of the game.
So Tony, here's an example, Tony. Nketiah is not a winger. Jesus is more of a winger than Nketiah. Why don't put
why didn't you thank you? That's what I said last week against Leeds. Didn't I say that to you, Tony? Against Leeds, I said, why on earth are we putting Jesus in the middle and Nketiah? Jesus played 90% of his games for Man City on the left wing, and Nketiah scores 96% of his goals in the 60-yard line. So why would you take both players out of their comfort zone? I didn't get that.
I think I'll be honest with you guys.
Right?
Sorry, Bertram, sorry. I'm just going to say it like this. Eddie Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus have shown me that they have the ability to play both as striker and winger.
No, Nketiah is not effective out there. He's not. Look at midweek. He came in midweek.
What did Apollo just say? What did Apollo just say about Eddie playing at Leeds?
He didn't play well out when he played at Leeds.
Of course, he played well.
You mean out wide?
He had 4 goals and 5 starts. He weren't starting. He was.
When he played at Leeds, you mean for Leeds?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Leeds game. Okay. Well, no, he was a substitute at Leeds, though, wasn't he? He wasn't starting. Bamford was starting.
Yeah, and the time that he had the chance, so that's when he had to have the operation. G says, if people are feeling down and sad about title challengers' hopes, then it's because Arteta has us punching way above the weight currently. Do you know, funny, I made a video 2 weeks ago that said, last season we were supposed to be getting back into Europe, the Europa League, and then we were challenging for the top 4. This season we're supposed to be challenging for the top 4, and we're challenging for titles.
Guys,
so
I'm not buying that narrative.
So it seems like this team is always ahead of its development. So
I'm not buying that
I
narrative.
did say that.
I'm sorry,
and-
guys.
But no, don't be sorry. That's your
No,
opinion.
no.
Don't be sorry for your
Listen,
opinion,
guys,
Bertram.
Go
Don't be sorry
look
for
at
your
what
opinion.
in the last 4 years. What are you talking about?
Oh,
This squad is good and
You've spent a
still a
ton
few
of money.
signings away from being the final picture. Don't be sorry about your opinion, Bertram. It's your opinion.
No. But here's the point. If you spend over 400 million pounds, you should be challenging.
Of course.
So why are we saying that we shouldn't be challenging? That we punch above our weight? You spend 400 million and you punch above your weight?
Tony, what's happening?
can I just say, Bertram, it's all very well spending 400 million, but when your direct competitors who have spent a billion,
yeah.
No, Tony,
you ain't in that ballpark, bro.
Tony, the
You
last
are
four,
not playing in
Tony,
the same ballpark.
Tony, the last 4 years, Liverpool net spend is about 100 mil. Ours is 400 plus mil.
Yeah, but look where they are now.
Us, Tottenham, have been spending a lot of money. West Ham to spend over 300 mil. Man City net spend is much less than ours. Now they built up their portfolio way before us. But the last 4 years we spent a ton of money. Now have we made a decision? We gave away Guendouzi. We gave away the kid from
Ozil. We gave away
We gave
away Aubameyang.
Yeah, Bertram, the most money that we spent in the summer was 145 million, which was 3 years ago. Do you know how high Arsenal was in the high spending teams this past summer?
I think we spend behind Nottingham Forest. I think we spend behind probably
we were seventh. Chelsea and Manchester. Chelsea spent $250 million. United spent 214 million. West Ham spent 163. Forest scored 141. Newcastle 122. Tottenham 152, and Arsenal in seventh 118. It's just the sign of the times, man. Teams are Chelsea and United spent double more than what we did this season.
Like, guys, we should be lucky to challenge. You spend a lot of money, you should be challenging.
Yeah, you say it's all
relative. It's relative, yeah.
Guys, thank you very much for the chat. I have to leave, but enjoy the rest of your Sundays. Good luck to the Giants.
Yeah, I'm about to switch over to the NFL, and I've got the Formula One on as well. So listen, guys, last comments, Tony. Quick last ones.
Yeah, don't be downhearted. I think there's we've got to ride this out. We've got to get to the World Cup, which is November. So I'm not sure how many games are left, but
3.
Okay, so we have 3 games to ride out. If we can get to that point in one of the top 2 places, it bodes well.
I actually agree with that. As I said to you guys, the last 2 games have been tough away games. We should never have won at Leeds. Never. I don't care what anyone says. And we've got 4 points in the last 2 games, which I think is actually really good. We still have a lead in the league of 2 points. We haven't drawn a game in 27 games, which is the longest run. So a game like this was always coming, and it doesn't shock me it came at this stadium where we have predominantly never done well at. It happens, guys. We got away with a lot, and today it just caught up on us. Bertram?
Tough day. I thought we should put the game away in the first half. I'm disappointed. I'm more concerned about the lack of goals in the last 4 games. And is that a theme that we have to look forward to? Or can we get back our scoring boots? But we're still top of the league. So I hope these 2 points don't come back to haunt us, because we should have got the 2 points today.
Yeah, that is 100%. All right, guys, listen, enjoy your Sundays. Thank you, everybody on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. Appreciate you guys' love and support. And we'll speak to you in the next one, man. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Take care, guys.